Let's talk hookup. For the next 2 hours, join Pete Gray, Rock Cod Rick Maxa, Corey Sandin, and this week's special expert guest for fishing information, new techniques to catch more fish, and the most current scoop on what's happening in the water. Let's Talk Hookup is sponsored in part by Royal Polaris, the world's finest long-range sports fisher. By Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup, and Shimano Rods and Reels. Fish with the best. Shimano. Get ready for the fastest 2 hours on radio with the hosts of Let's Talk Hookup, Pete Gray, Rock Cod Rick Maxa, and Corey Sandin.
Good morning, anglers, and welcome to Let's Talk Hookup. Man, do we have a great show for you today. It feels great to be back in the studio with Pete, and we're going to be having a really fun one with the boys from Raymarine. We have Mike and Kaylen Rokas. It's going to be a very fun show, talking all about the amazing new technology that Raymarine's bringing to the table. We're going to be talking fishing and more. You stay tuned. You're listening to Southern California's sport fishing voice. This is Let's Talk Hookup on the Let's Talk Hookup app, Facebook and YouTube Live, and 97.3 The Fan.
45 years. That's how long we've been right here on Mission Bay, helping friends and family like you discover the joy of sailing, kayaking, and everything life on the water has to offer. I'm Logan from Bass Lane Kayaks, and if you ask Ron and Debbie Lane whether 45 years feels like a long time, they'll tell you time flies when you're having fun. You see, the Lanes have followed their passion for a life on the water, and they've made a living inviting others along for the ride. Over the years, the shop has grown and changed, and so have the employees and products inside. From selling catamarans in the 1970s as newlyweds, living in a VW bus in the store parking lot, to being the destination Hobie fishing kayak store they are today, working with their 2 sons and daughter. You might be looking for a new way to enjoy time on the water with your family, or maybe you're looking for a new way to stay active, enjoy nature, explore, and catch a spotted bay bass. Whatever your goals, come visit us in Dana Landing on Mission Bay, and we'll get you geared up and ready to enjoy life on the water.
Many years ago, Baja pioneer Bob Van Wormer found the area he called the Great Fish Trap in the East Cape of southern Baja and built what is now regarded as the premier East Cape resorts of Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol. Today, following in their father's footsteps, Bob's sons, Bobby, Chucky, and Eddie, have taken Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol to new levels with the largest sport fishing fleet in Mexico, a luxurious spa, and top-of-the-line resort amenities. Van Wormer Resorts have become a destination for travelers worldwide. But for us, Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol are just a short 2-hour flight away. No other tropical fishing destination offers the experience and value that you'll find at Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol. Now you can plan your Baja fishing vacation quick and easy by visiting VanWormerResorts.com. And when you're ready to book, it's quick and easy. Or simply call 877-777-TUNA for more information. Van Wormer Resorts, the East Cape's finest.
All right, welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. Man, what a fun show we're going to be having today. And joining us on the phones is going to be Mike. And then in the studio for the first time, we've got Kaylen Rokas. Kaylen, good morning. Well, sure stoked to have you. First time in the Let's Talk Hookup studios for Team Raymarine. Man, we're pumped to have you.
Yeah, thank you very much for having us. Appreciate it very much.
Yeah,
thank you.
Totally. Now, Raymarine, very exciting. You know, when Pete was outfitting the new boat and, you know, it was time to start talking electronics and all the things. And, you know, I know he was shopping around, lots of technical stuff. And he was the first one that said, hey, man, I went to one of the shows and, you know, met with the boys from Raymarine and was just blown away. And it like snowballed into what it is now. And, you know, I mean, he said, that's it. That's, you know, has, you know, dealt with other electronics in the past and just said, this is it, man. These guys, in terms of technology and everything else, are leading the pack and went that direction. And I know it's kind of been it's been Team Raymarine ever since.
Yeah. We love to have Pete on the team, and he's got a pretty sweet little boat set up out here, and it's awesome. Yeah.
Raymarine's so cool too, because you guys offer everything from small skiff, small electronic packages, all the way up to mega yacht, big thing. But what's kind of new and exciting in the world of Raymarine right now?
We got the Axiom 2 Pro that came out. That's the new MFD. It's got a quad core processor in it, so it's going to be a pretty quick MFD. We have some new lighthouse charts coming out too. And
what's lighthouse chart? That's like the just super detailed charting type,
exactly,
for your chart plotter.
Yep.
But showing, you know, in that new all the new technology that's available, the, you know, ultra contour, where you're really starting to see things that you didn't see before.
Yeah, we're working on that still.
Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, we still have all the depths and everything, and tides and kelp lines and stuff like that, surface temp, so forth.
I've had Raymarine units and boats in the past as well, and one of the things that I think you guys do just so good is like the blend of technology, but also user-friendly operation. You know, like they're advanced machines that show very advanced pictures and advanced, you know, fish finding capabilities, but also you don't need to be an insane tech wizard to learn how to operate the systems.
Absolutely. We try to compare our stuff to kind of like the iPhone. Usually nowadays when people get an iPhone, you know, you pull it out of the box and everything, and there's no really instruction pamphlet there. You kind of just play with it as you go, and that's kind of how you learn the device.
Yeah.
Okay. The more you play with it.
Hey, good morning,
yeah,
bro.
Good morning. Yeah. If you're watching YouTube and Facebook Live, you were watching me do it. We updated our software this week.
There you go.
And George, who's a miracle worker, there was some kind of glitch in the software. So we go live. It's not live.
Right.
So if you were listening on the Let's Talk Hookup app, which a lot of people do, you noticed that we were playing an old show for that reason. So now we're all live. We're all good. We're back into the mix here. So we're doing well.
Well, we're talking Raymarine over here. I don't know what you're doing.
After the show. And then if you want to get a hold of Mike, tell him to give him a call. And we're also going to have Mike Surdick, and who's the kind of the northern West Coast manager, right?
Yep.
And who's the guy that actually introduced me to Raymarine, which is just amazing stuff. Now, one thing I want to make clear with Kaylen and everybody around is this is not the old Raymarine that everybody was used to, right?
Yeah.
This is a whole new thing. It was purchased by Teledyne, FLIR, and everything is new.
Yep.
Right? There's no if you had old Raymarine stuff, it's not the same.
Yep.
Yeah. So how is it different?
Well, kind of like you said, we have Teledyne, who is the mothership to us now, pretty much. So they're able to pump in a little bit more money and funds and stuff like that to Raymarine and kind of boost the brand up a little bit more.
That's awesome.
Whereas we got FLIR on the backside, and you know, there's not really a competitor to FLIR right now, as you could say. So FLIR is doing just fine.
And FLIR is the night. Well, I don't know if night vision is the right word, but kind of, right? Like
yeah. So FLIR stands for forward-looking infrared.
Okay.
So it's going to be infrared cameras.
Which
pretty
is
amazing stuff.
Unreal, amazing.
Yeah. I mean, you could see at night.
Or in fog or in weather, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, it's really cool.
Yeah. I believe we have Mike with us now. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, guys. How you doing?
Hey, good morning.
Great to hear you. And thanks for joining us here on Let's Talk Hookup on the phones. Of course, Kaylen's been talking to us. We had a little technical glitch this morning, software issues, but we've got it all resolved now. But you're the kind of the Northwest guy, right? And you're catching salmon and all kinds of different stuff up there.
Yep, I live north of the Seattle area, and I've been working for Raymarine and FLIR Maritime for about 12 years. I've handled Alaska, British Columbia, Washington, Oregon, Hawaii, and now with the addition of Kaylen, between him and I, we run the whole West Coast.
Wow.
That's awesome, you guys.
That's pretty awesome. And so I was explaining that this is not your old Raymarine, right? When did things change?
No. Yeah, you know, Raymarine's been owned by FLIR, right? I think I heard you guys talking about the relationship with FLIR and Raymarine. We've been a FLIR branded company since 2009. And back in 2021, FLIR was bought by a company called Teledyne, and Teledyne are juggernauts in the aerospace and deep water ocean mapping. They have really pumped Raymarine into being a saltwater, blue water company and tailoring towards the saltwater angler, right? So getting away from the, no, I shouldn't say getting away, but tailoring more towards the guy that are, you know, going offshore fishing for pelagics. You know, up in the Northwest here, we have our salmon and halibut and, you know, black cod and lingcod fishery, and really the first responders, right? The government agencies, the Coast Guard, you know, our stuff is built for them, and then we put the big boy fish finders in them.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's and I like I was talking about, the stuff is pretty amazing. And it's the cool thing is it's very intuitive. When I met you last year at the PCS show, you showed me, it was like, wow, pretty simple, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Our user interface is as close to an iOS operating system. So if you can figure out your way through an Android or an iPhone, you know, with opening one of those things out of the box and getting familiar with it, we pride ourselves on simplicity, being the fewest button pushes to, you know, adjust your sonar or build build a route or do an overlay. We like to make it simple.
Yeah, Kaylen was explaining that to us. And Kaylen, you and Mike will be at the PCS show coming up, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's going to be
That's
fun.
correct. Yep.
2 weeks.
I know.
We'll
It's
be
crazy.
there.
It's almost
Yeah.
here.
Speaking of which, we'll have Mike and Bill DePriest, the main man there, from PCS show tomorrow.
Yeah,
on
it's gonna
Let's
be a
Talk
fun
Hookup
show.
7 to 9. But we're talking. So, what will you have at PCS this year?
Yeah, come by and see us, and we'll be next to the guys at Johnson Hicks there, and they're going to be the big electronic dealer at the show, and we're going to have all kinds of cool specials, right? We're going to be talking a lot about Axiom Pro, the different frequencies of sonar through the Raymarine down vision and side vision and 3D Chirp, as well as some of the big boy 1 kilowatt stuff, right? And yeah, the FLIR cameras. We're going to have some FLIR cameras, and really, they're going to be some smoking deals at the show. So come by and see us.
Yeah, and we're going to hear from Joe at Johnson Hicks in the second hour, in the stream only, YouTube only hour. We're going to hear from Joe. Joe's a great guy. Joe's how I got introduced to Mike and Kaylen and the whole marine process there. So it's pretty cool. So how FLIR, of course, has been around for a long time, guys. How does the amazing technology of FLIR integrate with Raymarine?
Yeah, it's actually pretty seamless. With and FLIR, works with pretty much every brand, right? Raymarine, Furuno, Garmin, Simrad, Lowrance. Now, when you plug a FLIR camera into a Raymarine system, there are a few things that you do get that you don't get with the other brands. Because we're under the FLIR umbrella, we get a feature called Clear Crew. So if you're doing night ops and you're headed offshore, or coming back late at night, and it's zero viz, and the camera can actually pinpoint objects in the water. It's your object detection Clear Cruise technology. So if you're doing 20-25 knots in total darkness, when the camera picks up, say a log or a deadhead or a buoy or something in the water, we'll lock it, and then we'll range it for you. So if there's a log, say 400 feet in front of the boat, we'll actually drop these little bars on it, and then as the operator, you can look at the screen there and say, hey guys, we got something in the water there. It's 400 feet in closing, and then as the captain, to steer port starboard, to steer away from it.
That's on the chart
cool
plotter.
is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the cameras is just now the cameras are just 2 cables, one for 12-volt power, and then one Ethernet cable, right? So no more analog RGA coax cables. Everything's done through Ethernet, so that we can get full pan and zoom and tilt control of the camera directly through the display.
Sick. It's
Pretty
cool.
amazing.
And how big, how small of a unit, because that's technology you'd want on every boat. Obviously, you have to have room to put it, but like, how small are the devices becoming? Like, what, Kaylen, what would be an appropriate small size skiff that it would still make sense to have on?
I mean, honestly, any size skiff. I mean, realistically, I wouldn't probably put it on something that you're just keeping in the harbor here. But anything that you're taking outside the harbor, especially with lobster season and stuff like that, with all the lobster pots, you can see the buoys and stuff.
I just think about that. The nightmares of coming home from offshore tuna fishing during lobster season, when you've got a guy in the bow with a spotlight trying to find a buoys. You come in to just be able to kick back in your chair and look at a screen and see every little bit of the minefield in front of you and not have to worry about it. Sounds so nice.
What about the guys like you and your boat partner Neil that are running home from 80 miles offshore at 40 miles an hour and in the pitch black? And I mean, how invaluable is that?
Well, that's the thing.
Right?
We would get to go 40 miles an hour.
Yeah.
We don't, because you can't. But even still, you run at we run at a speed that like we've deemed safe ourselves.
Right.
Which is still way too,
too fast.
So say we go home, we probably come home from an offshore trip at like 18 to 20 miles an hour, something like that. Like, it's just this arbitrary number in your mind that feels safer than not. You hit something that speed, you're still, it's just as bad as going too fast.
Sure.
Like, you're absolutely right. It gives you that level of safety that you wouldn't otherwise have. Huge.
So let me jump in here real quick. One of the conversations we have at all of our shows is, situational awareness, right? If you're, especially up here in the Northwest where we have a lot of rivers that are pumping a lot of logs and debris, when we get these big heavy floods and rains. And so the guys that are going up north, up to British Columbia and Canada, they're so remote and off the grid.
Right.
What is your safety worth to you, right? And we offer a full line of cameras. We make an entry-level pan and zoom camera, the M232, which is a 320 resolution. They retail for $2,800, right? So that same camera 10 years ago was about $8,000.
Right.
The
Crazy.
has come down a lot. When you start getting up into some of the bigger cameras, they're all gyro stabilized. So for guys that are coming home from the tuna grounds, they got 4 to 6 foot of swell and wind chop. But when you get into the stabilized cameras, when you turn the horizontal and vertical stabilizers on, the image is completely stabilized on your chart plotter.
So that's something that you can turn on and off on your FLIR.
That's correct.
Why
just
would you
like
want
on
to
your
turn it
boat
off?
key Well, if you weren't using, obviously if you were coming back in a marina and it wasn't bumpy or what have you, honestly, if you have a gyro stabilizer, most of the time you do keep them turned on.
Okay. Yeah.
Mhm.
Which is kind of, and so it's just like a gyro binocular. It runs on a gyro, right? Kaylen?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Pretty impressive device. So it integrates with, like on my boat, on my Steigercraft, I have the 16 and the 12 screen. I have 16 in the dash, 12 on the left corner side. So I could put FLIR on the 12 and then my chart plotter and fish finder on my big screen, my 16, and I can watch both at pretty much at the same time.
Kaylen, you were calling them MFDs. What is that? That's a term you hear all the time.
Multi-function display.
Okay. So on that display, like Pete's saying, you could have the FLIR camera, or you could have the chart plotter, or the fish finder, or a combination thereof.
Absolutely. We have 18 18 different tiles you can pick from.
Oh wow.
24.
Jeez.
24 different tiles you can create, and then on top of that, those tiles can be split into 4 different sections. So yeah, you could have a camera, fish finder, chart plotter, and another camera.
Yeah, no more buying a radar unit and a chart plotter unit and something else. You just put this one multifunction screen on, and you can look at everything.
Well, you still have to have a radar, obviously.
Sure.
Yeah.
But not a screen that's dedicated to just running.
Correct. Yep.
Speaking of radar, that Cyclone radar that I have that Mike suggested that worked perfectly. And I mean, and it's a big radar for my size boat, but I'm telling you, Mike, it was such the call. That thing, Ron Lane and I were surfing one morning, and you could not see across the street, literally. And Ron's kind of looking at me, we're going to still go? It's like,
sure,
yeah, man, we got Raymarine. So we went, and you could see everything.
That's so cool.
And then so we got outside at the point, and I see these red lines streaking across the radar. I was like, what's that? It was the waves.
No
way. It was picking up waves.
Wow, that's wild.
Yeah, it's I've had a lot of other radars and good ones too. And this one's, I mean, it blows it away. It blows everything away. Where did that technology come from, Mike?
Well, so we for years everybody's used some form of a magnetron radar. The Cyclone and the Cyclone Pro, which you have on your boat, Pete, is actually the first of its kind in a solid state chirp or a broadband radar. So we run them in either a 55 watt or 110 watt for the Cyclone Pro. And really that gives us immaculate performance in target separation, out to about 40 miles, right? And
wow.
Way less power consumption than an older magnetron radar, way better emissions. So when that radar is transmitting and spinning, if you've got other boats or people in the area, you're not zapping them with the magnetron. And then the other big one is the Doppler feature, right? So when you're navigating in low light conditions or it's foggy, when your radar is set for, there's different modes. We have a harbor mode for, really telling the radar, hey, I'm not interested in looking out 40, 50 miles. I want to see really clear, in close proximity of the boat. You can tune it to offshore mode. And really the Doppler feature, where if a target is coming at you, we highlight the target as red. And if the target's going away from you, we highlight it as green, right? Kind of our collision avoidance feature.
Took me a learning experience to see that, but it was like, why is it turning red? Why is it turning green? Oh yeah, it's got the Doppler feature, and it's a great feature
cool.
too.
Yeah.
So whether they're coming at you or going away from you.
Yep.
Yeah, which is really
The
fantastic.
other big one, Pete, is the bird mode, right? So
Yeah.
for the guys that are using the radar during the daytime, looking for, birds and frigates and terns and shearwaters, feeding on the surface, when you turn it to bird mode, we can actually see birds, smacking the surface, a couple miles away. So we know where the bait fish are at.
That's crazy.
It's pretty good.
From a couple miles, you can
Yeah.
be seeing that.
Yeah. Does the
farther than you could with the pair of binos.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Does the FLIR have any application during the daytime?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a question we get asked quite a bit is, do I need to use my FLIR just at night? There's a lot of times where guys are, they're either headed west and they're driving into direct sunlight where you have that glare where the sun is just about down, over the horizon, and you're driving into a, just the blaring sun. When you put the FLIR, looking out towards the bow of the boat, you can actually see targets and debris and buoys and stuff in the water through your chart plotter there that you would have a hard time seeing just visually, off the bow of the boat because of the glare.
Wow. Well, as you can hear, we've got a great show lined up for today. A lot to talk about. PCS show, Raymarine, FLIR, and we've just scratched the surface of what's going on. We're going to hear from Joe later on the show in the second hour, and a lot going on. Good to have you back from the dead, Ricky.
Yeah, boy, that was a wild week. I caught that flu that had been going around so gnarly, and I called Corey, kind of last minute. It hit me like it hits everybody. And I kind of came down with that flu. I was like, oh my God, I don't think I'm going to pull off the radio show. So I called Corey in emergency, like, hey man, I hate to ask you so little notice, but can you cover me tomorrow? And I was like, I'm sick too, man. No way.
Yeah. No, I always knew it was I was in issues when I called Corey, and he's like, ugh.
Yeah.
Like, oh boy. All right. So then I called Brandon. He was not available on Saturday, and then poor guy, he had a big Valentine's night dinner in at a restaurant, and he got the food poisoning.
Like gnarly.
But the next morning he came in playing hurt, and you could see the sweat pouring off his face and stuff like that. He was playing hurt, but it was a wild weekend. My first weekend back from, but just thankful that it all worked out. Totally. That I was back from my big Chile trip. For sure.
The timing of you getting home was really good because the entire team and the whole bench and all of us combined were about out. So
glad I've knock on wood. I'm glad I've missed that flu so far. So
no doubt.
Thing. So great show today, and giving away a great prize too that Kaylen and Mike lined up.
Yeah, we're really pumped to have these guys in here. You want to talk about two experts in their field of having Mike and Kaylen in here, just talking electronics and helping you outfit the boat and the technology. It's just going to be a great show. And man, Pete, you said it best. We've got a great prize, one lucky caller or texter. And the way we decide that, as always, we have the prize coin, and Kaylen flip the prize coin at the end of the show. That's going to designate whether the winner comes from the caller or the texter side. But somebody is going to win a killer swag pack from Raymarine. It includes a couple of really nice tech shirts. We got hats, a whole lot more. It's over a $200 value swag pack from our friends at West Marine. Also, you're going to get 2 tickets to come to the upcoming PCS show just a couple of weeks, first weekend in March. I can't believe
March 6th through 9.
It's already here, man. Going to be a lot of fun. We're really pumped to have you. And if you want to join us this morning, man, we want to hear from you. If you've got a call, give us a call. The phones are already getting packed up, but we have room right now, 833-288-0973. One more time, 833-288-0973 is how you reach us on the phones here at Let's Talk Hookup, or send us a text. I was joking with Kaylen before the show even started. We had text message questions start rolling through for the boys. Some good tech questions, Mike, that I think are going to put you guys to the test, because the guys are really excited to learn more about all this great Raymarine product. And again, if you send us a text message, make sure you include your contact info. Just a name and a phone number is all we need, because if you win that killer Raymarine swag pack, we want to make sure to get it to you. So again, going to be a great show. Really looking forward to talking more with Mike and Kaylen. And when we come back, we're going to be taking your phone calls, reading those texts. We got catch reports and more. You stay tuned. You're listening to Southern California's sport fishing voice. This is Let's Talk Hookup on the Let's Talk Hookup app, Facebook and YouTube Live, and 97.3 The Fan.
You know, whether you're going fishing, diving, or just having fun on the water, there's nothing more worth doing than messing around in boats. So let me ask you, are you ready to upgrade your ride? Boat and Motor Mart of Oakland is your exclusive Western U.S. dealer for Steiger Craft. Created for inshore and offshore waters and laid out with the serious fisherman in mind, Steiger Craft has built a solid reputation for performance and excellent rough water handling. If adventure on the water is what you live for, Now's the time to invest in your passion. Call Boat and Motor Mart of Oakland at 510-437-1444. To look at the whole fleet of Steiger Craft online, go to steigercraft.com. Now's the time for a rugged, reliable, and fast Steiger Craft from Boat and Motor Mart of Oakland.
Hello, this is Captain Mike Totter from Searcher Sport Fishing. Alongside my colleague, Chef Josh Evans, and our dedicated team, we invite you to join us aboard the Searcher. Our fishing trips range from a day and a half to 8 days, available May through November, and include charter options. We're committed to upholding a legacy of top-notch customer service, delicious food, and a friendly and talented crew. Book your fishing adventure online at searchersportfishing.com or call Rachel at 619-226-2403. That's searchersportfishing.com. We look forward to welcoming you aboard.
Get ready for the most exciting outdoor show of the year, the giant 15th annual Pacific Coast Sport Fishing Tackle Boat and Travel Show, March 6th to the 9th at the OC Fair and Event Center in Costa Mesa. Check out hundreds of sport fishing exhibitors, manufacturers, tackle dealers, fishing boats, and fishing resorts taking up all 7 halls at the fairgrounds. 217,000 square feet, plus fantastic seminars and free kids trout pond. Backed by popular demand, the PCS show also has freshwater to cover bass and trout. Learn from some of the top names in the sport fishing industry, from catching giant bluefin, swordfish, calico bass, and more. Take advantage of incredible show specials from major tackle retailers and boat dealers. Talk to the top fishing travel destinations. 4 full days, Thursday, March 6th to Sunday, March 9th. The 15th annual Pacific Coast Sport Fishing Tackle Boat and Travel Show at the OC Fair and Event Center in Costa Mesa. Don't miss it.
For your next fishing adventure, check Point Loma Sport Fishing. They offer half-day and full-day trips daily, perfect for families and the novice or seasoned fishermen. Point Loma Sport Fishing also offers overnight to multi-day trips, targeting the best of seasonal catches. Visit PointLomaSportFishing.com, where you can purchase tickets online and get more information on the trips available, or call 619-223-1627. Want to go fishing? Point Loma Sport Fishing has you covered.
Whether you're boating, floating, paddling, fishing, or just chilling, remember, a good day on the water always starts with everyone wearing life jackets. Save the ones you love. Life jackets save lives. A message from California State Parks Division of Boating and Waterways.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. Having a great time here with the boys from Raymarine. Again, if you want to get through, join in the fun, 833-288-0973, or keep those texts rolling in, only available via the Let's Talk Hookup app.
I have a great text here from John in Rancho San Diego, and let me bring it up here. And it says, Axiom sounds incredible. Plug and play technology is a good thing. Can you explain the process for picking the right models for each boat? Mike?
That's a great question. Yeah. I'll take it off here. You know, Axiom is built on a really high processor. You need to decide whether you want to go all touchscreen or if you wanted to have a hybrid touchscreen and rotary knobs, right? Yeah, a lot of guys know when you're, using your chart plotter in the saltwater and either your hands are going to get wet, you got fish guts on your hands, or you're running and you're taking it in the face. Using the touchscreen by itself can be a little tough, right? You're trying to zoom in on a waypoint, trying to grab a tide station. If you're really wanting to have both the hybrid touchscreen and the rotary knobs, we do recommend our Axiom Pro series. It's also got the big 1 kilowatt sounder module in it. So if you're ever looking to add a big Airmar transducer, maybe in a high wide chirp or a medium chirp frequency, we put that big 1 kilowatt sonar directly in the display.
So you don't need an additional sonar module.
That's correct.
On the Axiom Pro.
Black box. Yep. That's right. We put it directly into the plotter. So that you could hang, maybe a transom mount 1 kilowatt, or if you wanted to put a bronze through hull, either a B175 or a B275, it's a direct connect right into the back of the plotter.
I have a B175 low and a B175 high wide connected into my Axiom Pro, and it's unbelievable. I mean, you can see, we go cod fishing, we can see, oh, there's fish here. There's no fish here. We go tuna fishing, yellowtail fishing, whatever. You see, it's impressive how crystal clear that fish finder is.
Absolutely. And if you got a smaller boat, maybe something in the 20 to 23 foot range, and say, hey, I just need a really good dedicated GPS fish finder. Maybe you want to add a radar, or actually in Plus line, we make in a 7, 9, and a 12-inch display. And that comes built in with our Raymarine branded sonars, which does all the down vision, the side vision, the 3D real vision, and conical chirp. A lot for the inshore guys. Those Axiom Plus units work great.
Mike, in previous generations of electronics, everybody used that, 50 and 200, kilohertz, transducers. Has Chirp completely eliminated that kind of old school style? Like, is everything gone to Chirp? Does it still have its place? Is there a reason? Like, why and when does somebody, make that switch, and what was the difference?
Yeah, Chirp, for the guys that aren't aware of what Chirp means, Chirp stands for compressed high intensity radar pulse. And so instead of pinging at a fixed 200 kilohertz or 50 kilohertz, Chirp pings across an array of frequencies. And that's what really gives us those gorgeous marks and separation between, tuna and bait and predator fish. Whereas, 50 and 200 kilohertz traditionally doesn't have nearly the resolution that we see with Chirp. So yeah, Chirp has definitely worked its way into all the brands. Everybody's running some variation of Chirp. For the guys that, want really good, clear target separation within about 400 feet and shallower, we definitely recommend a version of high Chirp. And then if you're looking to, see clear down from 500 to 1,000 feet, we do recommend some medium Chirp, right? It's a lower frequency, a little bit narrower beam angle, and lets you see deeper. Mm-hmm.
So Kaylen, like, instead of seeing the red ball of bait, you're seeing a ball of individual little bait fish. Like, so you're seeing like all the scratches of individual fish instead of just like the red glob.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on how tight the bait school is, and you can adjust your gain or your intensity depending on what you're looking for.
Sure.
So obviously, depending on how you adjust your own fish finder or sonar, the bait schools might look a little differently.
But you might see bait and an individual fish that's on that bait, where before it would just all show up as one mass.
Correct.
Okay,
yeah.
Got it.
You'll see the little tiny marks as for bait, and then the bigger fish will be a bigger,
Gotcha.
U shape.
And it's just giving you that separation that maybe didn't exist in the previous technology.
Correct. Yeah.
Cool. Hey,
yep. And I'll tell you, one of the things we've got good at here in the Northwest is we can now pinpoint between anchovies and herring and squid, right?
Wow.
You get enough of this stuff, you can tell the difference between all the different types of bait fish on the sonar.
Wow,
That's
really
cool.
Impressive. And also, you fishing salmon a lot. Can you tell the size of the school of like if it's a
Big
20
time.
pounder?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially when we go up to Sitka and we go up to Alaska, Prince of Wales, and Canada. When we're trolling the shoreline there and rolling big cut plug herring against the kelp and the rocks, we can distinguish between salmon and lingcod and rockfish, and we can tell what direction they're going in.
Wow,
it's pretty impressive.
Yeah,
that's cool.
It's good. It's next level technology for sure. Hey, phones are packing up. One line open if you want to get through. 833-288-0973. Jeff is standing by. You have a chance to win that swag pack from Raymarine, along with a couple tickets to the PCS show coming up. Let's jump into the phones.
You got it. We're going to start with line 2. It's John. He's calling us from Anaheim this morning. John, good morning. Thanks for getting us started here on the phones.
Good morning, guys. My question to the electronics guys is, you guys make electronics for a float tube?
Ooh, for a float tube. Anything portable or
Is
something?
that what he said for a float tube?
Float tube, yeah.
Yeah. We make a little 7-inch unit. We have a unit called an Element, which is a 7, 9, 12-inch display. It's just a standalone fish finder GPS. It's a non-networkable. It won't take a radar. It's for the guys that say, I just need charts and I need a good sonar. We make a 7-inch unit that we do put in kayaks. A float tube, you just need to have some type of 12-volt battery to power that GPS fish finder.
Drift boats.
Yeah, totally. Kaylen, I know you were saying, like, in addition to big boat fishing, you're also a kayak guy, and I know slightly different than John's application and with the float tube, but what do you run in terms of electronic wise on your kayak?
I have one of our older units that we discontinued, which is called the Dragonfly. So that's currently what I run. I think it's about 7 inches.
Okay.
So pretty similar to the Element. But yeah, we discontinued that and now we just offer the Element.
Got it.
We better get you an upgrade.
Yeah, I know a guy, I can put you in touch with my buddy Mike if you need. No problem. It's all good. I got you. I'll put in a good word for it. That's cool. Well, hey, I had a good text this morning. It says, what a great show, you guys. Already learning so much about Raymarine. My question is for Mike and Kaylen. Does Raymarine have any do you think you'll ever use the spot lock style technology on display units, whether it be with trolling motors or integrated into outboard motors? Is there any interface with Raymarine?
Yeah, so we currently right now we do talk to Rodan trolling motors. So if you did have a Rodan trolling motor on your boat, it's a one cable into the Raymarine system that you can use the spot lock feature and actually have full control of the trolling motor directly through the chart plotter. We also do a lot of work with the engine manufacturers like Yamaha and Mercury and their different joystick systems that have the spot lock and track point and set point. We're using their electronic steering system versus our hydraulic autopilot system. So having all of that as a one finger push into the Raymarine system has been pretty slick.
How cool is that just so from your MFD you can manipulate what your motor is doing with just a push of a button.
Yeah. Yep. You can actually adjust the RPMs and different troll modes directly through your chart plotter.
Oh, that is cool. That's way cool.
Really good stuff. No, it's intuitive for sure. Let's go ahead and jump back into the phones. 833-288-0973.
Line 3's got Brent. He's calling us from Torrance this morning. Good morning, Brent. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Good morning, guys. Great show. Really informative. I'm looking to put a autopilot on my boat. Does Raymarine offer anything new, or what do you guys offer in autopilots for a 24-foot boat?
Good question.
Yeah. Our Evolution autopilots are world-class pilots because they're always learning, right? So when you put one of our EV autopilots and for a boat like yours, I would definitely recommend either an EV 150 if you had twins, probably an EV 200 with a Type 1 liter pump. And really the beauty is the more time you spend using one of these pilots, the sharper and sharper the system is detecting for magnetic deviation and linearizing. So, we have charter boat captains that have had these Evolution pilots on their boats for years and they're bulletproof. I mean, they take into consideration wind and current and swell, and you can just look back there and see the pump engaging the pilots to keep you going in a straight line. So yeah, absolutely. Raymarine Evolution autopilots win a lot of awards every year at the NEMA convention.
Cool.
That's rad.
All right. Hey, great. Thanks a lot for the call this morning. Appreciate that. 833-288-0973. I have a great texter from Colin, and he's in San Diego, and he says, good morning, fellas. Looking to update my fish finder for the upcoming season. What Raymarine fish finder chart plotter would you recommend for inshore bay fishing up to 40 and up to 40 to 45 miles offshore, specifically taught in bargain fish and rockfish to target schools of tuna and topwater fish?
Wants it all, baby.
What do you think?
You want to take that?
Yeah, I mean, I would suggest, kind of like Mike was saying before, it depends on if you want just touch screen or, buttons and a rotary knob. That's kind of preference. You can always too, I think Mike forgot to mention too, you can also get the touchscreen version of the Axiom and then also add the keypad and the rotary knob separate. Okay. So if you
like them both.
Exactly.
Best of both worlds.
Exactly. But you could add the rotary knob and the button like over by your throttles or wherever else, your steering wheel, like separate from your screen. It's not directly attached, but it can still adjust your screen.
I know some of our guys that fish like commercial lobster where they're maybe wearing gloves or they have some reason where, touching the screen with a dirty gloved hand all the time isn't the factor. Like touchscreen's awesome. I love the touchscreen feature that we have, but sometimes you need to have that dial. There's whatever applications, might be. And the fact that you could put that in another locale, probably great too.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's nice to have that feature. If you do go with the touchscreen, you can always add the rotary knob and the buttons, later on if you want to.
So for Colin, which model would you recommend?
It depends on what size boat he has, and again, it's preference. I personally like having the rotary knob and the buttons. You can also preset some of the buttons to be preset, buttons for pages and stuff. So, say you want your fish finder on one, you can hit that button and it'll go straight to the fish finder or your chart, whatever it may be. So yeah, I would suggest probably the Axiom 2 Pro.
Mike,
go ahead.
Yep, Axiom 2 Pro. Yep, definitely Axiom 2 Pro. either in a 9-inch or a 12-inch. It's kind of your one-stop shop. You can put any Airmar transducer that you want to plug right into the back of the display. You know, if you wanted to just hang a transom mount transducer and run our Raymarine brand of sonar, you know, you can do that. If you wanted to add like a B175 or, you know, an Airmar transducer, it's a direct connect into the back of the display. Best of both worlds.
So question, Mike, what's the difference in cost between like just the Axiom and the Axiom Pro?
Yep. So Axiom Pro, like an Axiom 2 Pro 12 or 12-inch display in the Pro series, they retail for about $4,000 MSRP. And then you can get an Axiom Plus with our Raymarine branded transducer and Lighthouse charts. You can get that for about $3,000. So a little bit more money for the Pro, but we put the big boy sonar in it. And then you would just pick your transducer, whether you want to do a transom mount, a through haul, in haul, kind of up to the operator.
Now, you mentioned PCS specials when you're going to be connected with Johnson Hicks. What kind of specials can you get let out of the bag or no? We have to hit Joe on that.
Yeah. Yep. We'll save some of that as far as the details and the prices and stuff for Joe. But the Axiom Plus 12 are all touchscreen units. That's going to be one of the showstoppers for the show. We're going to have some quantum radars at the show as well. And then really, you know, for the guys that are looking to put, you know, bigger packages, we'll offer some FLIR cameras, some different sounder modules and transducers. We'll have a handful of different bundles at that show. Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
All right.
Kind of tailor it for what we're after. That's awesome. Hey, when we come back, we got a lot of Let's Talk Hookup coming your way, including more of your phone calls, more text messages, and a whole lot more with Mike and Kaylen. You stay tuned. It's Let's Talk Hookup, Southern California's sport fishing voice on the Let's Talk Hookup app, Facebook and YouTube Live, and 97.3 The Fan.
Hey everyone, James Holst here with Norsk Lithium, the official battery partner of Let's Talk Hookup. Here at Norsk Lithium, we have two goals that drive who we are and what we do. The first is to make the highest quality, longest lasting lithium batteries available with a complete lineup of batteries that include 12, 24, 36 volt and starting batteries. Second, in addition to offering a 10-year warranty on all Norsk Lithium marine batteries, we provide amazing customer service before and after the sale. Check us out online at norsklithium.com. That's NORSK lithium.com, or call us at 831-232-9063. Or to see Norsk Lithium batteries in person, stop by the Trolling Motor Doctor in Lakewood or Anglers Marine in Anaheim and see why Norsk Lithium batteries should be in your boat.
No matter where the adventure takes you, we've got you powered. Norsk Lithium.
Hey guys, this is Ali Husseini from Local Knowledge and BD Outdoors. I'm a lucky guy in so many ways, and one thing I'm really grateful for is my little brother, Yosef. Yosef is not only a fellow angler, but he's also an amazing realtor that specializes in helping us in the angling community find the ultimate home. If you own a home, get a free no-obligation evaluation online now by typing in SoCalHomeEval.com. That's SoCalHomeEval.com. All you do is put in your address, and you'll get a home value report immediately sent to your email. No pressure, no obligations, just answers. Yosef is the SoCal real estate go-to guy. He's helped me and so many of my fellow fishing buddies find what they're looking for in a home. He knows anglers and he understands the real estate market. Not only that, but he's also a really nice guy. How many brothers can you say that about? Go to SoCalHomeEval.com and find out where you stand in the real estate market, and then get with Yosef and find your ultimate home. Again, go to SoCalHomeEval.com and we'll see you on the water.
Hello, this is Captain Mike Totter from Searcher Sport Fishing. Alongside my colleague, Chef Josh Evans, and our dedicated team, we invite you to join us aboard the Searcher. Our fishing trips range from a day and a half to 8 days, available May through November, and include charter options. We're committed to upholding a legacy of top-notch customer service, delicious food, and a friendly and talented crew. Book your fishing adventure online at searchersportfishing.com or call Rachel at 619-226-2403. That's searchersportfishing.com. We look forward to welcoming you aboard.
The PCS show is coming, and Gamakatsu has an amazing show deal for you. Buy any 2 packs of Gamakatsu hooks at participating dealers and get one free. That in itself is an amazing deal. But get this. Purchase $30 of Gamakatsu products at the show and get a free pair of Gamakatsu pliers and a cinch bag. So get the buy 2, get 1 free deal plus the free pliers with a $30 purchase at participating dealers while supplies last, only from Gamakatsu at the PCS show.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. Having a great time here this morning. Phones have been packed. Same with the text. If you want to get through, we have one line available. It's 833-288-0973.
Yeah, for sure. We have Kaylen in the studio with us in the world headquarters of Let's Talk Hookup here, and Mike on the phones with us, both from Raymarine. Both will be at the PCS show coming up in the Raymarine booth. Really excited about that, and super, super fun to talk about.
What a show PCS has turned into, too, man. I mean, this is it. Like, so many boat manufacturers will be on display, and then to be able to look at those boats and then cruise right in and get to talk to Mike and Kaylen about electronics and tackle and travel and just everything else. It's going to be a great show.
Yeah, it's going to be great. Do you know your location, Mike, or where you're going to be?
Yeah, we're in the
we're going to be in the hangar.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, we're in the hangar this year.
Where you were last year, same place?
Yeah, that's correct. Yep.
Yeah, okay. Kind of with a lot of the electronics and the boats and such like that.
That's right.
The hangar is the big building. As you first enter the show, it's straight through.
back.
It's like a big, giant building. Probably why they call it the hangar. Huh? Yeah. Great. Yeah, I saw the map this week. They released the map. It's a giant show.
Dude, it's
and
huge.
we'll talk more about it tomorrow. But let's talk. This is our first year. We're making a comeback in the show season. And Let's Talk Hookup will have a booth there run by Tommy P, Dave Dolan, and Wayne Cotto.
I think that's awesome.
And that's going to be fun. And we're going to be doing, and actually our spot is right next to Queen Charlotte Safaris.
Oh, cool.
Or otherwise known now as Haida Gwaii Safaris. And then right next to the simulator for the rod building whole thing. We're right across from where that whole rod building thing is going to happen.
Very
too.
cool.
So that's going to be a great one. But Frank Lopresti, I told him we were doing a special thing for Captain Rollo's Kids at Sea, Friends of Rollo, raising money to take kids fishing in our booth. $10 for a ticket. You buy 20, you get a Gamakatsu double. And or excuse me, you buy $100 worth, you get 20 tickets, you get a Gamakatsu duffel, and of course all the money goes to raising money to take kids fishing. But we'll be doing that. That'll be separate from the Rollo booth. We'll be doing that in our Let's Talk Hookup booth, selling tickets to raise money. 4 great prizes now. Talica 12, 2-speed, Torium 20 HG, a pair of Costa sunglasses. And Frank, I talked to Frank about it, and he says, well, how about if I add in a 2-day trip on the Polaris Supreme?
Get out of here.
Yeah,
No
so
way.
in April. It's going to be, they're going to be doing some 2-day trips on the Polaris Supreme in April. And so Frank added in into that drawing a 2-day trip on the Polaris Supreme. So thanks to Frank for doing that. And it's going to be quite the drawing. So
and this is just for PCS show. So think about that. It's only $10 a ticket, and it's only over the 4 days. And just the people that buy tickets over those 4 days have a shot at, what is it, a TAC 12, a Torium 20, a brand new pair of Costas, or a 2-day?
Yeah.
Dude, awesome.
And all that money, 100% of that money goes to taking kids fishing.
That's a cool move, dude. I like it.
For sure. All right. Well, phones are packing up. Let's try and jump back into it.
How about we jump to line 2 again and talk to Mike? He's calling us from San Carlos this morning. Good morning, Mike. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Oh, hi, guys. Hey, about a month ago, you mentioned the kind of rig that used the torpedo lure, a torpedo weight, and a rubber band. What was that all about?
Are you probably just talking about,
sinker rig.
Sinker rig fishing, and Mike, Kaylen, give us a little rundown. A lot of that offshore tuna fishing has gone to that style of fishing.
Yeah. So the sinker rig is just going to be, your weight is going to be above your bait. It's just going to make your weight inline. And it's just going to be attached by the rubber band. So on that instance too, if you were to hook a big fish and it were to pull crazy, that rubber band can snap and you can lose your weight. But that is not the end of the world at that point, because you're hooked up to a huge fish. I wouldn't mind losing my weight at that point. But yeah, so the main purpose of, the sinker rig is to keep your weight in line and to pretty much slow sink your bait farther down.
And you avoid extra connections because the line is just attached just to your hook as it normally would be.
Correct.
But you're not tying any extra knots. You don't have to rely on the inline barrel from a dropper loop or anything like that. You're just attaching it with a rubber band and going direct.
Correct.
Hey, appreciate the phone call, Mike, very much.
You have a good text?
I thought so. It says, hey, guys, what a great show. We have a 26-foot catamaran hull with Raymarine electronics right now. We're looking to do our upgrades this year and purchase some new electronics. We want to know, we love our Raymarines. We want to know, should there be any special considerations for cat hulls?
Not so much the cat holes. Really, when you're picking a transducer, we just need to know what the degree of dead rise is. So if you're going to put a through hull transducer, we just need to know, is it going to be a 12-degree tilted element or a 20-degree tilted element? More often than not, probably 90% of the time, because the transducer is going to be mounted in the transom, you're going to do a 20-degree tilted element. And then really, as far as picking your chart plotter, definitely recommend the Axiom 2 Pro. That is our flagship saltwater angling fish finding units. And then, from there you can piece together your autopilot, right? If you've got a hydraulic system or a drive-by wire, electronic steering system. Once we know all those different components, then we can start building together a system. But definitely want to recommend Axiom 2 Pro for these catamarans.
But that's a great call, though, if you're thinking about, taking advantage of some of these show specials, like, what, as you go up as a consumer, knowing what things you should have on your boat to, to help simplify the process. And again, it was just degree of dead rise.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yep. So when you're picking a location for your transducer, a lot of times you're going to be mounting them on the dead rise. And a lot of these catamarans, when you're on the port and starboard side of the sponson, it varies, right? So if your degree of dead rise is plus or minus 4 degrees, so say you're using a 12-degree tilted element, if the dead rise was between 8 and 16 degrees, you'd use the 12. If it's got a bit more dead rise, which usually these catamarans do, you'd go to a 20-degree tilted element in a port and starboard configuration.
Where'd you find these guys, Pete? This is awesome, man.
Yeah.
No curveballs.
And
by Mike or
and
Kaylen.
here's the thing too, is Kaylen, how long you been with Raymarine?
I started last May.
So he's just starting,
This is awesome, you guys.
You've learned a lot in the last 9 months, right?
Yep, and there's still a lot more to learn.
Still a lot more to learn.
Yep.
Yeah, you've been all over the place. But so Mike, they have older Raymarine in this catamaran. What are they going to see the difference between the older Raymarine and the new Axiom Pro?
Yeah, really. I mean, depending on the legacy or to the age of the electronics that are on the boat, really, if they've got an older E series or C series or one of the 2010 to 2015 vintage Raymarine, to go from one of those older E series classic displays to one of the new Axiom Pros, it's like going from an iPhone 5 to an iPhone 16 Pro. The processing power, the speed, the resolution, the clarity, and really the simplicity of the system. Our previous generation plotters and displays all had a single core processor. And in the computer world, right, the Axiom 2 Pro has a 6-core processor.
Wow.
So lightning fast. We've got a patent on our screen material that's called Hydra Touch. So if you look at one of our new Raymarine displays, you'll notice it doesn't have the glossy finish like some of the other displays or like a plasma screen. We're viewable in broad daylight, right? So if the screen is exposed to direct sunlight, we're viewable in the sunlight, even with a pair of polarized sunglasses on now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So definitely huge upgrade. And one other thing I'll mention too, guys, if the boat has older Raymarine gear on it, right, there's a lot of stuff that's still supported, right? A lot of guys will say, well, shoot, I don't want to rip out my transducer. Is my radar still compatible? And Raymarine does a really good job of being backwards compatible with some of these older legacy items. So, as long as the system's newer than about 2010, we can still use all the same cabling, the same networking cables, all that stuff is still supported.
That's nice to go too. If you're doing it, being budget friendly, hey, this year I'm going to upgrade my MFD, but can't quite afford to do the radar. I'm going to do that next year. You're still in the game.
Yeah. And here's the other thing.
Absolutely.
Mike was alluding to the speed of the Axiom Pro 2. It's unbelievable. I mean, I've had previous units where you know how a lot of the units, I don't know whether yours is like that. You got to wait a little bit, Now we're such a I want it now generation, right?
Mm-hmm.
A fraction of a second is a lot, right?
If I push the button and it didn't happen yesterday, like I'll piss
exactly right. This thing it happens right now
cool.
when you push it. Yeah, it really truly is very, very fast. For sure.
That's cool. Hey, want to remind you, this portion of the show is sponsored by our friends at Summit Gasoline at the San Diego Sports Arena. It is the place to fill up your car, your truck, or your boat with the lowest in gas and diesel prices. Do you know that Summit is also the place to get your lowest prices on ice and snacks for your trip? over 40 snacks, all for 89 cents. Now you can also get those great Bombazo burritos made by the renowned chef. You can choose from 6 different types, including smoked bacon and eggs, and Finn's favorite, the chorizo, all for only $3.99. Chorizo also only $3.99 for a 25-pound bag of ice. You can get as many of those as you want. Yeah, and that's half the price as others, and that's 25 pounds, not 20 like everybody else sells. It's such a killer deal. Also, get 100 pounds of ice for free with a 35-gallon fill. It's Summit Gasoline, free ice for Let's Talk Hookup listeners, and always the lowest prices on gas at the San Diego Sports Arena.
Don't know what happened to Marcos. Maybe he's got the flu. Who knows? Yeah, but I'm sure.
I'm not putting that by anybody.
But the good thing is great week of weather coming up.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I'm sure they're running half day, 3/4 day, full day. I'm sure that they're going full speed. And who knows? Maybe we'll hear from Mike too. All right. Well, hey, that wraps up our first hour, right, Rick?
You got it. When we come back, we got a lot more Let's Talk Hookup coming to you. Only available on Facebook, YouTube Live, and the Let's Talk Hookup app. We'll see you on the other side.
It may be. Those of us who live here know it's a great time of year to go fishing, and certainly not time to put your gear away. This is Ben, and you will see me at my dad's shop, Dana Landing in Mission Bay, the one-stop shop for a great day on the water. Food, bait, tackle, beverages, and more. This is the ideal time for bay bass fishing, and I get the inside scoop from Johnny. Heck, he will even rent you one of our killer blue skiffs. This is also a good time to go work on your reels, and Doug is the man for that job. If big largemouth bass are your bag, nothing beats East County Bait and Tackle. They have all the right stuff and live bait for a perfect day on the lake. Lemon Grove Bait and Tackle is super cool too, for both freshwater and saltwater tackle. ECBT is at the end of the 67 freeway on Mapleview and Lakeside. Lemon Grove Bait and Tackle is on Broadway in Lemon Grove, and Dana Landing is next to the Dana Launch Ramp in Mission Bay. Check danalanding.com for more details.
One rod has set the standard for serious saltwater anglers worldwide, and that's CalStar. From the rugged dependability of the West Coast series, the lightweight strength of the Graphiter, or the performance of the GG series, all CalStar rods are handmade right here in Southern California of the finest materials and craftsmanship. So, if you want your tackle to be the state-of-the-art tools to get the job done right, it's CalStar, available at fine tackle dealers.
It is essential to have the right gear when you go fishing offshore. Marine is a critical part of that. Come visit the Baker Marine staff at the Fujinon booth at the PCS show in Costa Mesa and get a super stellar show deal on all Fujinon binoculars. It's simple. You are not in the offshore fishing game without a pair of stabilized binoculars, and Fujinon makes the best. Like the pinnacle of the Fujinon lineup, Staboscope, the professional choice. For a more affordable version, Baker Marine has Fujinon Techno Stabby TSX 1440. The new version is perfect for the angler wanting stabilized binoculars at a great price. And with Baker Marine super stellar deals at the PCS show, now is the time to buy. Baker Marine is the largest Fujinon retailer by volume on the West Coast, and they service all brands of binoculars. Take advantage of the great show specials and visit the Baker Marine staff at the Fujinon booth at the PCS show and test one out, or their location on Shelter Island in San Diego. Check bakermarine.com.
The PCS show is coming, and we will have our best booth at the show. Hi, this is Doug Kern from Fisherman's Landing Tackle. Check us out in the wildly popular saltwater building at the PCS show in Costa Mesa, where we will have some amazing deals for you on rods, reels, lures, and clothing. Everything at the Fisherman's Landing Tackle booth will be on sale. And as always, our expert staff will help you select that perfect setup for the fish you want to pursue. For saltwater tackle at the PCS show, your best stop is the Fisherman's Landing Tackle booth. When you want to catch big bluefin tuna, you need Shimano. Hi, this is Doug Kern from Fisherman's Landing Tackle, the saltwater tackle professionals. The Shimano Beastmaster is the pinnacle of electric reels. Shimano's Gigamax motor packs a winding strength up to 250 pounds, ideal for kite fishing and more. Shimano's butterfly flatfall jigs are irresistible to bluefin tuna because they stay in the strike zone longer. Shimano makes a complete line of butterfly
fly flat fall jigs to target your favorite game fit. For all your Shimano needs, visit us at Fisherman's Landing Tackle at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego. The name that stands out among anglers is Fisherman's Landing, your top choice in local and long-range fishing. We offer the finest open party trips from 1 to 3 days, the best charter boats available, and of course, our world-renowned long-range fleet. Fisherman's Landing offers half-day trips on the Dolphin and full-day trips on the Liberty. Many trips can be easily booked online at fishermanslanding.com. I'll see you at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego.
KWFN and KWFN HD1 San Diego.
Annie Heilbrun here. Catch up on Sports Fishing Voice. Let's talk hookup. Get ready for more of the best fishing information and the hottest tips on improving your angling skills. Let's Talk Hookup is sponsored in part by Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup. Shimano Rods and Reels. Fish with the best. Shimano. And now, Southern California's sports fishing voice, the hosts of Let's Talk Hookup, Pete Gray, Rock Cod Rick Maxa, and Corey Sandin.
All right, welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. Having a great time here this morning, talking fishing and talking fun with the boys from Raymarine. Certainly some really, really cool info coming out, and very pumped having Mike and Kaylen here talking fishing with us this morning. If you want to join us, man, we would love to have you here in this second hour. Let's Talk Hookup. 833-288-0973 is how you reach us here. Only on the stream and the app here for the second hour, and we're having a lot of fun. Also, if you want to send us a text, the only way you can send your text into the show is via the Let's Talk Hookup app. It's a free download, easy to find, easy to do, and it's the only way that you can send in your questions is through that Let's Talk Hookup app. We're having a great time here this morning, taking your phone calls. If you want to join us, 833-288-0973. And certainly lots of great fun coming your way. Also going to be talking a whole lot more about all this great Raymarine technology. We got more information coming up about the PCS show, and certainly very stoked to have Mike and Kaylen in here with all this killer knowledge and information. Going to be a really good time, too. If you're looking to upgrade, you're looking for more information on your boat, you're looking for more information with Raymarine, we're looking forward to talking to you. So going to be a great second hour here. And, yeah, we're just looking forward to more of your text messages, more great info. And Kaylen, I was shocked when Pete said that you've only been doing this for, going on a year now. Your knowledge of everything Raymarine has been really impressive, man. It's been really cool having you.
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, I met, kind of like Pete said, I met Mike actually at the PCS show last year, and just kind of hit it off with him and was chatting with him. And eventually it came a point where he said, we're looking for a guy in California. And I said, absolutely, because I love to be out on the water and fish as much as I can. That's my hobby, and now it's part of my job. So pretty awesome.
Clearly a fishing and boating background from you. I mean, you've got the passion info that comes with a lifetime of doing this, not from a quick shot.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, it's kind of weird too. I mean, little background history is not really anyone in my family is into fishing. And for some weird reason, I got into it, and now it's my biggest passion, my biggest hobby. So,
and we were chatting before the show. You cover all bases: offshore fishing, friends with big boats, friends with small boats, kayak fishing, the whole nine. There's nothing in your repertoire that you don't do.
Yeah, I like to kind of check everything off the list, I guess you could say.
And that's what's so cool about your partner, you being part of Raymarine, is like you guys offer everything for all of those people, from kayak fishing like you do in your spare time to big boats, outfitted commercial boats, and everything in between. Raymarine's got a little bit of that for everything.
Absolutely. Yep.
That's awesome. Well, we're certainly pumped to have you. And we're also pumped to find out what's going on the water. It is time for a catch report. We got your fishdope.com report standing by with our private boater buddy, Captain Mark Wish, is on the line today. That report is sponsored by the Fish Pros at Fisherman's Processing in San Diego, where you will get the premier processing experience. Check out the easier online system to book your processing for your long-range trips. With more team members, Fisherman's Processing stays far ahead of the rest. More same-day capacity, the finest customer service. You can stop by their location in Old Town on Taylor Street or check fishermansprocessing.com and be sure you make your reservation today. We're looking for Mark Wish, private boater buddy. We got you, Mark? Mark.
You got us, Mark? Oh, I got to bring the pot up. There we go. Oh, no. Mark
too.
got
Hey,
me.
well, I can hear Mark. I can hear Mark in the background there.
I'm here.
We got a little technical fun going on here, Mark. But stand by. We'll try to get that. Hey, there it is.
Yeah, there we go.
The private motor buddy.
We're coming through 5x5 here now.
Roger that, buddy. Hey, it's foggy here this morning, man. Cut us some slack. We just got the FLIR camera turned on, so now we're in good shape. Good morning, buddy. How are you?
Yeah, well, we got that fog up here too, man. It really settled in. But anyway, so it's sure been nice though to have pretty much a week of this good weather. After some of the stuff we've had,
No
and,
doubt.
continues through the weekend. And with the weather down on the outside, we got all areas, all islands available for some recon. So I'm sure we're going to finally get some good coverage. Because, man, it's been scarce. And then as to some actual reports, in reality, not too much this week. Up in Santa Monica Bay, the guys are picking away at a few bass and sculpin on the artificial reefs there, and even a little bit of that halibut that has been the mainstay for our action here off Long Beach. A little bit of that halibut's biting up in the bay, which is good because in years past, that was just world class. So we used to run up there all the time. And past few years, it's been struggling a little. So hopefully it bounces back. But for both areas, find some bait, 50 to 80 feet of water like that, preferably near some hard bottom, and start your drifts, cover the zone. Make sure you're fishing with good gear, guys. There's been some really nice ones. Make sure all those knots are properly tied and tested. And then or at Catalina, it was hit really hard with this last storms that we had there a week ago, but it's bouncing back. Conditions are better. Not quite perfect, but better. And surface action still non-existent. Way too early for that. But the halibut fishing over there has been steady all winter, a little different than on the beach here. It's more shallow, 15 to 50 feet. And we've got some big swell coming, though. So if you're up there poking around the shallows, be careful. Keep an eye on that swell because it can get you there if you're up too shallow at the wrong time there. So now as those sea bass, it's getting towards that time. We've had some good hits here over the last, it's almost 2 months now. But not a lot of it. They've been kind of scarce actually. And but you want to get over there if you're going to fish bait. There's a lot of bait around. You want to get set up on the bait grounds, make your tank of bait, and then get ready for daylight. And you might stay right there on the bait if you're marking some fish during the night. Those sea bass with their big air bladders, they mark on a depth finder really well. And so if you're seeing some fish, I'd probably set it out. If not, I'd maybe relocate somewhere up a little more shallow on the edge of some structures there. But regardless, make sure your gear's in good shape. What has been caught has been mostly pretty big. And so you want to be ready for that. But as March creeps closer, guys, it's just about game on at that sea bass situation or at Catalina. And then Pete.
Yeah.
Are you there, Pete?
Roger.
We're back, buddy.
We're back.
Okay. You threw me under the bus last weekend.
Uh-oh.
Yes, I did, as a matter of fact. Yeah. Well, Dave Pfeiffer, I got to explain.
Oh, what happened, man? Let me in here.
Dave Pfeiffer was on the show,
okay.
and we talked about the big CCA dinner honoring Dave Pfeiffer with the Anthony Shea Award.
Yeah, in Long Beach.
In Long Beach, which is right next to where Mark lives. And I said, Mark, are you coming to the dinner to honor Dave? Right? Is that what you're referring to?
Hey,
you're coming.
Yeah. All right.
We're coming. Yeah. Shortly after we got off the show there, I got a phone call from a longtime friend and with an invitation we could hardly refuse. And we're coming in. So,
That's awesome,
yeah,
man.
look forward to seeing everybody there.
Yeah, fantastic. Again, that's May 1st.
Yeah.
It's up in Long Beach. And if you want tickets, you want to join us, I'm going. And I know pretty much everybody's going.
Yeah, we have a Fisherman's Landing Tackle bought a table, and myself and Doug and some of the boys are going to be up there. Dallas is coming.
Mark Wish is going.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
So be there. I know Steve Pinard bought a table and from Dana Landing. A lot of people, but there's still tables available, still tickets available. Go to ccacalifornia.org and click on the events button and buy tickets to that event to honor a great man and enjoy meeting a lot of people within the industry too. And I know Anthony's going to probably be there too, giving the award away.
Hey, cool.
Yeah, so that's cool.
Yeah,
if he's not out catching blue marlins,
you'll get to see Mark
right?
Wish.
Yeah. Fantastic, Mark. Well, Kaylen and I had lunch yesterday. And he was showing me pictures of these giant halibut he's catching over in Catalina. I don't know how I'm supposed to let that out. But what you're saying about make sure your lines and knots are right, the pictures that Kaylen was showing me about the halibut he's catching over Catalina, man, you better make sure.
Wow. Did you get some good ones?
Yeah, not well.
Oh, Humble's coming out. Let me answer for him. Yes,
he's going right in front of that man.
So no, in November we got 23 legals in like 2.5 hours on the backside.
Nice.
That was a private boat. We had 8 people on the boat. But the big one that he's talking about is I had a friend who caught his first legal halibut last year. I'm sorry, and I'm not gonna release the spot, unfortunately, but it ended up being 42 pounds.
First legal 42 pounds.
Yeah,
but it was on the coast.
Yeah, it was a local halibut. It wasn't at Catalina, and I showed some of these guys the photo. I caught a 15-pounder that same day, and it made my 15-pounder look tiny.
You could have fly lined that 15-pounder for the 40-pounder.
Yep.
Wow, cool. Well, hey, Mark,
this halibut. This halibut thing has just been great, for everybody here this winter. Just something to do with Rockfish closed. So
absolutely,
yeah. But those are good ones, man. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
I know down this way, San Diego wise, the Dolphin on Wednesday. I think on Wednesdays they do their halibut derby. Same deal, just like Mark says. A cool thing to do in absence of rockfish fishing, and they have been having a fantastic time. Lots of legals, and there's been several big fish. And again, Mark, as they always are, Mark's reports are spot on. I guess there was 2 just absolute heartbreaks on their trip yesterday. I mean, like gaff out, ready for fish to come aboard. One fish that they called 25, the other they thought was 35 plus, and both watched the head just come out of the water, head shake the wrong way, boom, go away. So two potential derby winners that like we're not close, we're like ultra close. And they watched them swim back. So still opportunities and lots of big fish to go along with the legals and shorts that they have had. So there's some really good fishing going on.
Yeah, for sure. Well, hey, fishdope.com. He's got the reports. He's got everything you need. $30 off a new membership to fishdope.com using the code Hookup Now. Lowercase, no space. Hookup Now is your $30 code. And Mark, how do we find you?
Well, P, we're in Huntington Beach. We're on the corner of Bolsa Chica and Edinger by a Chevron station. And the phone number is area code 714-840-4262. The website's pacificedgetackle.com. And we'll be talking to you guys next week.
Okay.
Great job,
Mark. Appreciate that. Talk to you next week. All right. And that is our catch report today. Appreciate Mark Wish there. And Mike, we still have you on the line?
Yep, I'm here, guys.
Okay, great.
Right on,
all
Mike.
right. Thanks, Mike. Glad you're still with us. You have a great text, huh?
I thought so. And I know the boys will be able to point him in the right direction. Say, hey, great show, guys. I'm relatively new to electronic navigation and don't feel like I'm getting the max benefit achievable yet. My question is, does Raymarine have, or can you recommend any resources to help one get better trained on their navigational equipment? That's from Dan and Pomona.
Yeah.
We've got a... Go ahead, Kaylen.
No, go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, I was just going to say, we do a series of YouTube videos that have instructional how-tos, how to set up a fish finder, how to tune your frequency, and for whatever type of fish and scenario you're in. And then also, if you follow Raymarine on social media, every Thursday around 4 o'clock our time, Pacific time, we do a 2-hour segment called Raymarine Live, where Jim McGowan, our marketing guru, he'll actually get in the studio and he'll set up a system, on Raymarine Live and go through the entire catalog, whether we're, setting up, a new page or building out routes. Really, it's for guys that are, getting into it for the first time, maybe bought a system and don't know how to, navigate through it all the way. Yeah, go to follow Raymarine on social media, and then really, I tell people in our boat shows, the easiest way to learn this stuff is to just poke buttons on it, right? Go to a West Marine, go to one of these dealerships, talk with somebody that knows the gear, and you'll find that it's so intuitive that really the best way to learn it is just to poke buttons, just like your iPad or your iPhone when you pull it out of the box. It's a lot of trial and error, figuring out how to navigate through, and it's pretty straightforward.
The one cool thing about it, though, like you say, is just by poking buttons, you're not gonna you're not going to get yourself into a place where you can't get back from either. Like it is simple, and that's the good thing about it. But it's simple operation on advanced technology. You know, and you're just not going to get yourself in the weeds or screw something up by getting around and poking buttons and playing around with it.
That's exactly right. Yep. And you can actually save all your settings too. So if you ever needed to, back up your system, your settings and your data, if you have another buddy that has Raymarine, or maybe you had multiple boats, you can, transfer your coordinates and waypoints from boat to boat to boat. And then, doing software updates, getting the system updated is as easy as pairing it to Wi-Fi, and it'll update everything on the network, your autopilot, your cameras, your antennas, everything, just like an iPhone.
That's legit.
Pretty easy stuff. Hey, right now we have Joe or Vince on the line from Johnson Hicks Marine. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Pete. This is Joe from Johnson Hicks Marine.
Hey, Joe. Great to hear your voice. And Joe, of course, introduced me to Raymarine and all the guys at Raymarine, and just super excited when I talked to Mike about joining the Raymarine team. And you guys, and I was talking, I remember when I first had the conversation, I was like, no, wait a minute. Raymarine's been around a long time. It's like kind of old-fashioned stuff, right? And you went, oh no, this new Raymarine stuff will blow your mind. And you were so right, Joe.
Yeah, the new lineup with Raymarine, they've really gone out and put the effort into it. Yeah, I think they did have a dip in the market, but they sat back and really designed a platform that is different than a lot of other people's. The way they stream video across their MFDs is like no other manufacturer. So I think you've got definitely the hot setup on your boat there, Pete. And I know you're enjoying it, and you're catching more fish, aren't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, certainly seeing more fish. Yeah, for sure, no doubt about it. But so now you're going to be at the PCS show right next to Raymarine, right? And you're going to be having some incredible show specials on all brands of electronics, right?
That's right. Yeah, we have this nice little opportunity to, offer the public a little discount on this equipment, and we'll be doing that. We'll have the full lineup of Ray. We'll have Mike and Kaylen at the Raymarine booth. We'll have the Garmin booth there. We'll have the Furuno booth there. The Simrad Lowrance booth will be there. They'll all be in the hangar building. The Johnson Hicks booth will be at 412 to 414. So we're really pretty excited about this show. I mean, the buzz on it has been incredible.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, and so can you release any kind of what the deals are?
We really can't with the way the MRP works. They don't allow us to do that, but I can guarantee you it will be worth your time to come to the show. Everything will be on discount. It will be a great opportunity to be able to sit down, talk to us. If you have a question, the manufacturer will be right there. Definitely going to be a one-stop shop.
Okay, great.
That's awesome.
That sounds great. So, of course, right there in the hangar building, Johnson Hicks Marines, you're going to have a giant display like you always do at the show?
Yep, we'll have our big display. All the manufacturers will be on display within our own booth as well. You'll have the opportunity to talk to someone that spends a lot of time. We don't just sell everything. We just sell marine electronics.
Joe,
and that's been our kind of our name of fame for 35 plus years now.
I think that's such an invaluable source too. And I always say this, like, in the best of ways, you don't care what a customer buys. What you do is go through, you have everything available, and you're gonna suit the needs. Like, obviously with all this killer technology we've been talking about, it's going to be hard to steer away from Raymarine, but you have everything available, and you can walk a customer through, their needs and figure out what the right unit is going to be for them.
Exactly. And that's what we do. We're not, you call in and give us a part number and we sell you a product. That's not what we do. We want to talk to you. I want to learn how you fish and what your needs are. And our guys have done this for long enough where we can steer you in a direction that we feel is where you need to be. if it's Ray, yeah, let's go to Ray. Ray's
Yeah.
going to have some unbelievable deals out there. Mike has put together packages that are off the charts. So Ray's going to be pushing some really big deals. I think you're going to be really surprised.
That's what Kaylen and Mike were alluding to. Same deal. So you kind of can't let the cat out of the bag quite yet, but some really big bundle incentives, and you pick this, you're going to get that. It's going to be some pretty compelling deals to go Raymarine with our electronics upgrades this year.
Absolutely. And the other thing, Pete, that we offer is a lot of follow-up support. So if you're going to be a customer that's installing your own stuff, we're going to be there for you and help you and answer those questions, because that's what we do every day. So that's going to be an easy thing for us. And we're just not selling you a piece of equipment. We're trying to create a relationship. And, the shows is how we advertise, but we grow every year. And that's because of our commitment to our customers.
Well said.
All right.
Awesome.
Well, hey, Johnson Hicks Marine at the PCS show. And if somebody can't make the show, how do we find you at Johnson Hicks Marine, Joe?
So you can email us at sales@johnsonhicksmarine.com or pick up the phone and talk to us direct. That number is 831-475-3383. We're there Monday through Friday, 8 to 5.
Awesome. Well, killer info, man. We sure appreciate everything, and we're really looking forward to seeing you. Boy, coming up just a couple of weeks, we'll look forward to seeing you at the PCS show.
All right, Pete, we're going to be there.
Thanks, Joe.
We're ready for you.
Appreciate that very much. Thanks for the phone call.
All right. Thanks very much. All right, Mike, we still have you?
Yep, I'm here, guys.
Okay, great. All right. I think I right at the end of the show, the end of his call, I think I solved the issue with the conference call.
Being able to have both at the same time.
So it's a new system here, guys. We're learning it all here. But thanks to Joe for calling in. Appreciate that very, very much. Yeah. So anyway, lots of good questions. You have another great text.
I thought so for sure. It's just more of what we've been talking about, and such a great reason to come to PCS show and get to see Mike and get to see Kaylen and hopefully get him. Johnson Hicks says, I'm out on the Sun Fun right now with Captain Woolley listening on the app. Going to report back tomorrow to let you know how the fishing is. Question for the guests. How would you set up a 23-foot Parker for SoCal fishing without spending a tremendous amount of money? I don't want to spend as much of my electronics as buying another boat. Also, at how old of electronics would you say it's time to upgrade? Example, what kind of difference am I getting between today's electronics versus some that are 5 or 10 years old? That's all from Brian in San Clemente.
Yeah, hey, Brian. I would definitely recommend either our Axiom Plus or Axiom Pro line. As far as electronics being, how far they've come in the last 5 years, I'll say from probably 2018, 2019 to now, that's when all the brands really started putting the higher processing power in it, the higher Chirp sounder modules. When you start getting back to the 2010, 12, maybe even 14 gear, that's when you're going to see things being a little bit more annotated, a little bit more latency when you're navigating through the chart plotter. But really, if you can get 8 years out of marine electronics, right? You think about how harsh of an environment that these electronics live in. If you're running electronics that are 6, 7 years old, and you're thinking, well, maybe should I be upgrading? What am I going to see as a benefit to the new stuff versus the old stuff? Really, the big thing is the cartography, right? All the high res bathymetric charts, right? Some of those older units can't see some of like the relief shading when you're looking at navionics, and then the other one is the sonar, right? If you're running an older unit that just has like maybe a P66 or P58 transducer that's just doing 50, 200 kilohertz, when you go into any one of these new Axiom Pluses or Axiom Pros, you're really getting the full functionality of all the side vision, the down vision, the 3D. Our footprint in what we're able to see under the water is dramatic in compared to what we were doing, 6, 7, 8 years ago.
Okay. And now you talked about the processors and like the insane processing speed that Raymarine now has with that 6-core processor. Is that does that affect the fish finding, like the speed that the information is coming to the unit, or is it just navigating pages and switching between plotters and you know what I mean? Like, Where do we see that insane speed that you guys are getting now?
Yeah, you see it all over, right? In the sonar in particular, right now with these higher, faster processors is, the redraw speed and the impedance, right? So how fast are we painting the picture when we're going over bait, or, a lot of times guys will ask, hey, can my fish finder work when I'm on step and I'm running?
Right.
And if I'm doing 25 knots and I'm holding bottom, or if I'm cruising, can I see bait and fish while I'm running? And the answer is yes, right? And really, it's a little tough to explain, but instead of you painting a picture of a big glob of mackerel or sardines, if you were on a bait stop or trolling, when you're doing 25, 30 miles an hour and you go over a pot of bait, you're going to see these big vertical lines, right? Because the sonar is going so fast. When you go over a pot of bait or a wad of fish and you see these vertical lines, to me, that's when I'm coming off the sticks and going, hey, what did we just go over? We just went over something there. And then now you start your figure eights, you start doing your hunting for fish. Then all of a sudden it's like, holy cow, wow, we wouldn't have seen that if we weren't glued to our sonar when we were running. So yeah.
Okay. All right. Hey, well, I have a great text here. And it says, good morning, guys. Great show as usual. We use FLIR a lot on our helos for search and rescue. Where are you using the same technology for marine applications? That's from Tom in NorCal.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Kaylen and I worked for the FLIR Maritime division of FLIR in Raymarine. A lot of our Coast Guard auxiliary government agencies, search and rescue, fish and wildlife, all have, a version of FLIR cameras for, looking for, missing persons in the water, anytime, there's a boat that might be sinking, or, something where we're looking for heat, right, in total darkness. So yeah, we see a lot of operators for, helicopters and airplanes and stuff that use a different version of FLIR, right? They're probably using a bigger FLIR camera, but the same concept, right? We're looking for heat signatures, and the FLIR will pick up anything with about a 2-degree difference in heat, right? So if we can, same with logs and buoys, they store ambient heat during the daytime. So at night, because they're a different temperature than the water, we can see them.
Now, yesterday, Kaylen, you were saying that you can pick up kelp patties on the FLIR.
Yeah, that's my
at
night.
Yeah, you should. Yeah, just like Mike was saying, it should hold heat, different degree temperature than the water. So you should be able to pick up the kelp patty, and then you can sit on it at nighttime until the sun rises.
That was my next question, was from Wayne Cotto, and he wanted to know exactly that. There's so much technology advancements in this new Raymarine radar, and then obviously the integration with FLIR. He was wondering if there's any technology that's going to help you assist finding kelps. So you're saying, like, in a low light condition or a no night condition, that thing's going to stand out on the camera?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
that's legit.
Yeah, that is legit, huh?
Yeah.
Now, my question is, why don't more sport boats have it?
That's a great question. I'm trying.
It's just for that. That alone, right?
I'm trying to get that pushed out here.
Yeah. I think once they figure that out, it's like, wait a minute, I can find kelps at night.
Well, and especially just the push and nighttime fishing that we're doing now. It's just another great safety feature.
Man overboard feature. Someone goes overboard, you have that infrared technology to be able to spot them or locate them.
I'll say this real quick, guys. Let me just jump in here.
Please.
There's a big misconception that FLIR is expensive, right? And they think that they got to spend $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 on a FLIR camera. When in reality that technology has been consolidated, and we're building cameras now, FLIR cameras that'll work with any different type of brand of electronics that you can get for under $3,000. And I like Joe talked about for the PCS show, we're going to have the 232s. That'll be the camera that we're having on special. One last thing is we do have our boat show bucks. So our manufacturer's rebate will only apply for dealers exhibiting at the show. So if you come by PCS and you come talk to Kaylen and I, you get a quote from the guys at Johnson Hicks. That's when we give you the boat show bucks rebate. We sign it, and that gives you 10% off of your invoice. So if you spend $5,000, you get $500 cash back. If you spend $10,000, you get $1,000 back. All the way up to $20,000, we send you a check for $2,000 in the mail.
Wow,
that's so rad.
That's good stuff. Yeah. Hey, Dan in Promotional says, great show. I'm relatively new to electronic navigations and don't feel like the maximum benefit is being achieved. Does your company, could you recommend any resources to get better trained on navigational equipment? And we talked about your resources before. Do you have any other recommendations other than the Raymarine technical stuff, Mike?
Yeah, I mean, really, a lot of the YouTube channels, and social media, a lot of our pro ambassadors will, do these instructional how-to videos while they're on the water, real time, and say, hey guys, here we are. We're getting ready to set up for, put the kite up for bluefin. Here's how we're going to set up our sonar. Maybe, hey, I'm going to make the run out to Catalina. I'd like to, develop an auto route from the dock to the marina I'm going in, so that, the system will automatically generate a route from A to B using all your safe depth parameters, right? You tell it, hey, I'm a 25-foot sport fishing boat. Don't take me in water shallower than 20 feet, right? Different settings for the autopilot,
cool.
How to adjust the overall look and presentation of the charts. A lot of that stuff's available online to watch. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's great.
Very good. All right.
When we come back, we got a lot more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way. More of your phone calls, more of this great info with Mike and Kaylen. You stay tuned. You're listening to Let's Talk Hookup, Southern California sport fishing voice on the Let's Talk Hookup app and YouTube and Facebook Live.
This year, make reliable boating your resolution and back it with exhilarating deals with a new Yamaha outboard during Yamaha's New Year, New Reliability sales event. From now until March 31st, 2025, purchase a new eligible Yamaha 450 to 30 horsepower outboard and get up to 7 years of coverage protection. Looking to hit the water with lower horsepower? There's a deal for you too. Purchase a new Yamaha 25 to 2.5 horsepower outboard and receive up to $200 in dealer credit toward the purchase of additional goods and services. Don't miss this limited time offer. Visit your local Yamaha dealer today. Yamaha, reliability starts here. Offer ends March 31st, 2025, subject to change. Other restrictions and conditions apply. Select models exclude 24-month Yamaha extended service added to a 36 or 60-month factory limited warranty. Choice offered to Florida residents is a 24-month Yamaha limited warranty. See authorized participating Yamaha outboard dealer for details. Cannot be used with any other Yamaha offer.
The state-of-the-art long-range sport fishing vessel, the Independence, delivers the top quality, comfort, and fishability you look for in a long-range boat. Veteran captains Mark Bizzano and Paul Strasser built this incredible 112-foot vessel with the most modern technology and luxurious comfort available. Once you go on the Independence, you'll be back. Call Independence Sports Fishing at 619-226-6006 or check independencesportfishing.com.
It's time to talk about great gear from Shimano. And you know what's so cool is Shimano is going to have the most amazing booth at the PCS show.
Oh, man, no
It's
doubt.
going to be unbelievable. And Benny Florentino, Benny Ortiz, lots of seminars, lots of personal seminars. You can learn everything from, jigging to bait fishing, and also see all the new gear from Shimano at the PCS show in the Shimano booth.
All of the new, the updated A versions of the Talicas, and we're really excited. The Depth Hunter Max Quattro is going to be available at the show. So if you want that brand new ultra thin line, if you're going to upgrade your reels for jig fishing this year, a great time to do that. There's just so much killer info and so much killer product at the Shimano booth.
Yeah, you don't want to miss it. The Shimano booth and the Power Pro booth. Don't forget the Power Pro at the PCS show coming up here on March 6th through 9th at the Orange County Fairgrounds. For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America and certainly number one with anglers. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining build Ford tough, and never settling. But what really made Ford F-Series number one is you. So now is the time to take advantage of great deals and programs today. Visit your San Diego County Ford dealers today and explore the F-Series and the full truck lineup. They'll be glad to hook you up.
This is Captain Tim Ekstrom from the long-range vessel Royal Star. With my partners Randy Toussaint and Brian Sims, we have set the bar for the long-range fishing experience. Spring 8-day, summer 5-day, or fly-down, fly-back 11-day winter trip, we deliver the highest quality long-range voyage you will find. From our premium RSW fish storage to our top-of-the-line chefs and crew, Royal Star distinguishes itself from all others. Want to grab a spot on the Royal Star? Check us out at royalstarsportfishing.com or call Tracy at 619-224-4764.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. Having a great time here this morning with the boys from Raymarine, Mike and Kaylen, talking all kinds of great brand new electronics from Raymarine. I have learned a ton on this show. This has been awesome. Really digging this.
Yeah, I'm learning a lot about our new software.
I know.
Watch it on YouTube and Facebook Live.
I'm not going to lie. It's very nice being on the number 2 co-pilot seat and just hanging out, talking fishing. Me and Kaylen were sharing fish pictures, looking back and forth. And Poor Pete is running stress. I get it. I'm so stoked you're back from Patagonia. It is so nice to be on the cruise control side where I'm at right now.
Well, it's good to be back, but you did such a great
Thanks,
job
buddy.
while I was gone. I was super impressed. I listened on the Let's Talk Hookup app down in Chile, and it sounded perfect.
Awesome.
And the
Good.
sound quality on the new app is like
crazy,
amazing.
right?
It's so good. Yeah, it's so good. But there's lots of good questions coming through. Mike and Kaylen have been answering. We've been firing at them,
Yeah,
huh?
we haven't gotten a curveball past you guys yet, man.
Yeah.
Every single thing these guys have known like the back of their hand. It's been really fun. Again, you guys are just wealths of knowledge. This has been really cool.
Yeah, Mike and Orange ask a question for the Raymarine guys. Do they have designated techs that are available for product install and some DIY? Now, one thing we talked about is the ease of Raymarine's phone support, right, Kaylen?
Yeah. So we have great product support. And then to answer that question, yes, we have dealers and installers all throughout California. You can find them on our website. And the other thing too about getting our equipment installed by an authorized dealer or an authorized installer is you'll get a 3rd year of warranty added on.
Oh, that's a cool deal.
Yeah. So we're one of the few companies, I think the only one actually, that will offer a 3rd year of warranty.
Helps offset the cost of what you're paying to have a professional put it in.
Exactly.
You're going to get that back via extra warranty.
Yep. And then two, we also offer an onboard commissioning program too for the dealers. So they can take the customer out on their boat for a few hours and do some button pushing with them and kind of teach them, the ins and outs of the equipment.
Like an online guy that can just be on the phone with you? Or?
No, the dealer that will actually install your equipment will go out.
Will go out with you.
Yeah, for a day. So we'll pay them to go out with you for the day and show you how.
Raymarine's paying them for their time just to give the customer experience
Correct.
the best possible.
Correct.
You guys are rad.
That's pretty amazing. Pretty impressive for sure. You have a good one?
I thought so, and I'm very curious to hear the answer on this one. It says, I put an Axiom 9 on my Parker 2120, and I love the 3D for finding structure for scuba diving. My question, I heard that you should not run your transducer when it's out of the water. Is there a way around this when I'm putting in waypoints or changing settings when I'm at home and the boat's on the trailer at my house? That's from Bob and IB.
Yeah, I'll jump in here. Yeah, so if you're going to be using your chart plotter when the boat's on the trailer and maybe you're entering coordinates or just doing some software updates, if you tap the power button, so swipe the power button, you'll see a tab that says disable sounder. And what that does is that stops putting power to your transducer so that you can use the chart plotter when it's not in the water, right? We don't want the transducer sitting there pinging when it's not in the water, right? So the water keeps the transducer cool, so all the different elements and sense resistors that are in the transducer don't get cooked. So yeah, just one press of the power button, disable pings for the sounder, and that allows you to use the Axiom when it's not in the water.
Again, that's good dope because that's something I didn't think about at all. And it makes total sense. Buddy gives you, hey, man, that we crushed them on this rock cod spot, punch it in before you go. Like, that's an easy something that all of us would do. That's a really, really good tip, Mike.
Definitely. All right. Hey, I have another one here. James from La Jolla has Pete, Rick, and Caleb, and Mike. I have an Axiom 9 with side scanning, down scanning sonar, and one high-low transducer for the last 5 years. I'm looking to recommend a service center that I know has the know-how to get my system dialed in a little bit better, but I'm not overly complaining running my center console full speed, live tuned on a dime and backtrack to the schools of yellow and tuna and several times in the last 5 years. Thanks, Let's Talk Hookup. Amazing. You got my electronic guys. I thought I was all alone out here on the West Coast.
That's cool.
So what do you think? You have some
So he's
guys?
saying he loves his. He just wants to get it professionally tuned up that much more. Okay.
What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, we have dealers around the area too. Some of the local guys are going to be Upgrade Marine. There's going to be Shelter Island Marine Electronics, Custom Marine Electronics, H&H. So there's quite a few.
One of your new dealers is H&H Marine, right?
Correct. Yeah. So
Jeff and the
they
boys
also
over
just got that new place down there on Shelter
On
Island.
Shelter Island
Yeah,
Drive,
it's a pretty sweet little building and setup that they have. A lot of foot traffic going through there, and they've got one of the bigger electronic stores that I know of. Other than
They're actually in that facility.
It's actually a big footprint too. Like it's almost
Cool.
comparable to, like, I'd say West Marine.
Wow.
I mean, obviously not all that big, but compared to the other electronic stores,
Okay.
it kind
And
of
they have a lot of the Raymarine stuff in that new facility.
not yet. I mean, they're our dealer and they sell all of our stuff,
Right.
but they don't have much on show yet. So yeah, I'm working on maybe getting a dealer display program for them set up so they can get some displays in there so people
cool.
can button push.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, hey, again, not to keep firing at you, but I thought another great info. Hey, good morning, guys. I'm texting from Santa Cruz. We're so blessed to have Johnson Hicks here in SC. My question is, I'm very interested in getting a FLIR unit for my 36-foot charter boat. You guys go over the different options and what you'd recommend for my size operation.
Yeah, for a charter boat, if he's taking out clients and they're doing night offs and safety is super critical when you're navigating in low light conditions. Definitely probably go up to our M300 series, which is our 9-axis gyro stabilized camera. And really, we offer a couple different versions. The M332, which is our 320 resolution, kind of our entry-level stabilized camera. The next step up would be our M364 and the M364C. The M364C is our flagship, commercial grade infrared night vision camera that has both a dual payload. It's got a high resolution thermal camera to it, and it also has our daylight low light camera. So it's got 2 lenses in the camera. It'll talk to any version of electronics, Raymarine, Garmin, Furuno, even if you had a couple of big monitors on the screen like Nauticomps or Hatlins or something like that. So yeah, I would definitely recommend either the M332 or the M364 if you're going to be putting that on a charter boat. You bet.
That's great, man.
Good info.
You guys got this.
Gosh, the technical stuff that's coming
so
across
cool.
here is pretty amazing. Yeah, for sure. Hey, there's a lot of talk about forward-facing sonar.
That's the one I had pulled up too. Yeah, I think
the
it's
one
great.
from Rich and Badley. Go ahead and read it.
It was from Rich and Badley. Says is the forward-facing sonar that's been dominating professional bass tournaments continuing to advance in its technology? Compartments occupied by black boxes and high energy demands have been the trade-off or deterrent. Do you guys expect that that technology to continue in the future? What does it look like, and what are the applications in potential in saltwater?
Yep, I'm going to go ahead and just share this with you. Stay tuned.
Hey.
Now that we're a Teledyne company, stay tuned. Can't give away the farm too much, but this time next year we're gonna have a lot of fun stuff to talk about.
I like the sounds of that, dude. I like the sounds of that.
And here's the thing: is that most of all of the Raymarine stuff is focused on saltwater, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
yes,
put 2 and 2 together for you guys, right? Okay. I don't know. I'm just guessing myself because I tried to get it out of Kaylen yesterday. He wouldn't cut loose. But I'm just kind of guessing.
But how about this though? For somebody that is hearing that question, Mike, like what is forward-facing sonar? Like that Rich is talking about in the freshwater scene. Like what is that style of technology? Just to get somebody a little bit frothed up about what might be coming in the future.
Yeah, so I mean, really, kind of the big forward-looking sonars in the freshwater game is like the Garmin Live Scope, right? That you see these high-res images of guys looking for bass underneath lily pads, and then same with the Lowrance Live Scan. Really, I mean, truly, the only forward-looking blue water sonar that's available right now is the Furuno product, right? The Furuno multi-beam retractable transducers that you see on a lot of these long-range big cattle boats that could see a group of bluefin 1,000 feet in front of the boat or to the side of the boat. That's true blue water sonar, and without giving away the farm, we're going to be competing in that same
Roger that.
Okay. All right, cool.
That'll get you frothed up.
Well, speaking of forward-facing sonar, side-scanning sonar, Captain Frank Lopresti's on the line. Good morning, Frank.
Well, good morning. How are you? Boy, I hate that sound. Cattle? What are we talking about? Livestock?
Yeah. Can't use that. These are
anyhow. Pete, I just wanted to report on the Royal Polaris is finishing up. They have finished up their last trip, not last trip, their previous trip, the accurate 18-day trip. Wow. They ended up with a beautiful catch of tuna. 9 fish over 200 and 1 fish at 316.
Oh, my.
Plus plenty of 100 to 160 pound fish, and I believe he ended up with 75 wahoo.
Oh my gosh.
So the wahoo fish wasn't quite as good as he's had the last 2 trips, but still an average of over 3 per person. So
I'd take that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, you bet. So nice trip for Jonathan. He's had actually 3 trips in a row that have just been outstanding. Okay.
Wow, fantastic. And when are they back in San Diego on the Royal Polaris?
Tuesday morning, Pete.
Tuesday morning, they'll be back in with all those big giant fish. Now, Frank, I announced earlier in the show that we're doing that Captain Rollo's Kids at Sea Friends of Rollo giveaway, and actually selling tickets in our Let's Talk Hookup booth at the PCS show. And you donated a 2-day trip on the Polaris Supreme in April, which is super cool. So Polaris Supreme's going to be doing some 2-day trips starting in April, huh?
Oh yeah. Yep. In fact, several of them are full. But you know, I don't know what's going to happen with the fish. I can't predict it, but my guess is we're going to have fish in late March and April and May locally, no problem. That's what it looks like right now. We do know of for a fact that there are big schools of fish in the 29 block, and that it's getting no pressure at all right now. We also know that I think you might have noticed that FLIR has scheduled a couple of other trips starting around the 17th of March. And he has coincided that with when he knows there's going to be planes in the air looking. So he's going to have somebody to work with. And we have determined we're going to actually run that trip with 5 passengers or more. So,
wow. Well, and that's on the Polaris Supreme, and you can book it at the Polaris Supreme website, right?
That's right. That's correct.
So
FLIR seems pretty convinced he's going to catch fish in March, and I'm not one to argue with
I was
FLIR.
just going to say, man, if that man says that it's going to happen, boy, you can mark that on your calendar. You can set your watch to that.
Doug and I were having lunch the other day at Pizza Nova, and we saw Captain Barnhill, and he's running the tuna boats now, right? The pen boats.
Yeah, he's doing a fabulous job.
Yeah,
and obviously we work with Aaron, and that's part of the reason there for that scheduled date at that time. Also want to mention the Polaris Supreme is in the best shape it's ever been. A completely brand new engine room, new generators, new mains, new everything in that boat. The engine room is probably one of the most beautiful parts of the boat. And then he also completely redid the bridge to where he has everything just the way he wants it, with cameras in the engine room, cameras on deck, in the galley. He's just got it set up perfectly the way he likes to operate his sonars. He's it's Buddy Stevens is the one that did all the work on that bridge, and it's just gorgeous. Okay.
Wow, cool. That sounds fantastic. Yeah, Aaron was kind of cluing us in about all the fish he's seeing down south and around. And we both, Doug and I, were digging into him. It's like, okay, are we going to have a good season? He says, oh yeah, there's plenty of bluefin around. He says the biggest problem he's having is finding fish big enough for them. They don't want any of the 40 to 60 pound stuff. They want the 120 plus pound stuff. And he says there's plenty of that around too, but he says there's so much of that 40 to 60 pound fish around, which is fine by me. I don't know about you guys, but I'm fine with a 60 pounder or a 40 pounder, right? He says that they're having to keep looking because they find so much of that other fish.
So cool.
So that's a beautiful thing, right, Frank?
70 pound fish is fabulous. I'm very pleased with 40 to 70 pound fish. And then there's always the opportunity to catch a 200 pounder.
No question about it. Well,
Sign
hey,
me up.
that sounds great. Any spots coming available on the Royal Polaris coming up here, Frank?
The only thing we've got I shouldn't say the only thing. There's a couple spots open here and there. I believe, especially in November. I think November, there's a 10-day trip with a couple of openings. Oh, I know the John Collins 10-day trip in September has one opening.
Ooh.
And, you have to go on there and look, but there are a few openings. And
All right.
just in case anybody wants to go on a whale trip, we're leaving this coming Tuesday night on a whale trip that has some openings, which will go to all the lagoons and all of that stuff. But that's pretty much it, Pete. They have to go to the website, and there's a few scattered openings. And I might also advise, don't be afraid to get on the waiting list, because there's always people that cancel, okay?
Yeah, for sure. And you will be at the PCS show here coming up on March 6th through 9, right?
I'll be there Thursday and Friday for sure.
All right. Awesome. Very good. Captain Frank Lopresti, Royal Polaris, RoyalPolarisSportFishing.com. Thanks for calling, Frank, and the update on that. We'll look forward to seeing Jonathan back at the dock on Tuesday.
All right. Take care.
Thanks, Frank.
Right, thanks, Frank.
That's awesome.
All right. You have some good question there?
Yeah, I definitely do. Question was was from James. I like to fish local, and most of my fishing is done in relatively shallow water. I've been hearing a lot about Chirp and the different transducers. It's rare that I'm fishing in water deeper than 300 feet. Can you recommend which transducer I should be using for my Axiom? That's from James in San Diego.
Yeah, I would recommend an Axiom Plus for that particular scenario. If you're not going to be deep dropping or fishing out 4, 5, 6, 800 feet, Axiom Plus with our Raymarine RV100 transom-mount transducer, which has all 4 frequencies built into the transducer. It's also got an AHARS feature in it, so it's the transducer is stabilized. So when the boat's pitching and yaw and bouncing around in bumpy water, the image is stabilized on your sonar, right? So you're not getting these big up and down lines on there. Yeah, Axiom Plus would definitely recommend in either a 9-inch or a 12-inch unit for this particular.
So what's the difference between Axiom, Axiom Plus, and Axiom Pro?
Yep, Axiom Plus is all touchscreen, and it comes in a 7, 9, and 12-inch unit, and it'll take our Raymarine branded transducer or a non-Chirp 600-watt transducer. Axiom Pro is hybrid touchscreen as well as the buttons and rotary knob, and then really the big one is it has the big 1 kilowatt sounder module built into the display. So between Axiom Plus is our Raymarine RV transducer, Axiom Pro is RV transducer as well as 1 kilowatt. It's actually got 2 transducer ports on the back of Axiom Pro.
Got it.
Wow. Yeah. So you can plug 2 transducers into the Axiom Pro like I did, without having to put an additional module in.
Correct. Yep. All the black boxes built into the display. You got it.
That's how nice.
Now, when you're in James's case and you're fishing shallow water, and then the fall comes around and you want to try your hand at deep drop swordfish fishing, and you're going to utilize your alternate transducer, do we need to do anything on our display side? Like, does the machine know when we're looking shallow versus deep? Like, how is it on the user side toggling back and forth between those 2 Chirp transducers?
Yeah, so really when you go into the sounder page and you're looking at your fish finder, when you press the menu button in the top right hand corner of the display, the first thing it's going to ask you is which channel do you want to look at. And when you have a series of various transducers, you might have a through hull, a transom out. In some cases we'll have 3 transducers on the boat. When you go into the channel selection on the Axiom, it'll ask you which frequency do you want to pick, and we'll actually put a little bit of a description about what that frequency does, right? And so high chirp is really good target separation in shallow water. What we consider shallow water is anything 400 feet or shallower. Then if you had a medium chirp frequency, right, that's a bit narrower beam angle, but better for target separation in deeper water. And then, for these sword guys and the guys that are deep dropping, out past 1,000 feet, that's really going to give you a lot more detail, out past 1,000 feet because of how low the frequency is and how narrow the beam angle is.
Got it.
Okay, so Kaylen, a guy comes to you at the PCS show. He says, I've got a 23 Parker. I'm not happy with the electronics I have. I want to get a better setup. What are you going to sell him? Get right on the mic there.
It depends on the size of the screen that he's looking for, the MFD. Obviously, I would suggest the Axiom 2 Pro. And then, like Mike said, you could go with 2 different transducers and go with the RV100, which is a transom mount. Gives you the 3D, the conical chirp, side vision, and down vision. And then you can.
And that's the one that's stabilized?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. And then on top of that, I would probably go with the same setup that you have and probably do like a B175. And probably a low, since you already have the.
So you do the transom mount with the one, and then an in-hull low so you can do swordfish, and rockfish, and stuff
something
like that.
deeper. So yeah, your RV100 would be, like Mike said, pretty much anything shallower than 400, and then you could use that B175 for a little bit deeper stuff.
Okay, and like a 12-inch screen.
Yeah, 12-inch screen.
Just one 12-inch screen will do the job, right?
Yeah, because it has those 2 ports on the back. You can go with 2 transducers already with just one screen.
Yeah.
So
One more thing I'm gonna add
please.
to this, guys, real quick, is all the Axioms have built-in Wi-Fi on them. So, for a guy that might have a 12-inch display up at the main helm and they wanted to put, a sonar in the back, but not want to break the bank by, spending money on a second display. If you have an iPad or, an iPhone, you can pair your iPad to the Axiom and actually mirror and control everything that's on the Axiom on your tablet. So I've got lots of guys that take a iPad, put it in a waterproof case on a ram mount, and put it on the transom or on the rear deck back
Or
there,
up on
so
the
that,
on the helm up
everything-
top.
Yeah, wherever.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Just pull up the Raymarine app and shake hands with the Axiom, and now you have full control of your Axiom wherever your wireless device is.
On the iPad.
Yes. You can
that is
absolutely.
sick.
you can control
That
you can
is
control your
cool.
MFDs from the iPad or your phone.
You could be on the back deck with your phone, toggling around, changing settings that are happening up inside the bridge. Cool.
Yeah, so
Big time.
for Mike's point, I use it on my buddy's Hatteras. He's got all of his electronics up on the bridge, and when I'm down on the fishing deck, there's no electronics down there, so I'll bring my iPad,
Yeah, see where the bait's at,
see whatever I want,
that's cool.
So
What about video source? Like, can you add video sources to that? Like, if you now in the world of Starlink and, things like that, being able to see things offshore that we didn't before, can you check in with the Padre game and see what's happening on a screen?
if you have Starlink, yeah, I mean, we have Netflix built in, YouTube built into our Axioms too. So
Come on.
yeah. So if
Get
you
outta here.
Yeah, so if you get a 12-inch display or a 16-inch display and you're at the island for a few days and you're hanging out and you want to watch some Netflix or some YouTube, you can pull it up on your MFD.
And then in addition to that, I have a Seakeeper in my boat. I control the Seakeeper on my MFD.
Correct.
Yeah. So it's all in one.
This
I don't
is
need to
so
have
sick.
another display for the Seakeeper on there.
It's just crazy how fast technology flips and gives you this. Like this was just not available that long ago. I love it.
But
This is very
Raymarine
cool.
brought it back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great job, you guys. Well, this has been a lot of fun. Hey, when we come back, we're going to find out who's got themselves a full Raymarine swag pack. More Let's Talk Hookup coming your way on the Let's Talk Hookup app, Facebook, and YouTube Live.
The lighter the bite and the cleaner the water means one thing. Need a thinner leader, more natural presentations. That's where Seaguar Gold Label leader material shines. It's Seaguar's thinnest leader material yet. That means it's even less visible underwater and creates more natural presentations for better catch rates on leader-shy fish. With exceptional knot and tinsel strength, this advanced leader material is now available from 2-pound test for fishing trout in the Sierra to 80-pound test for big yellowfin in Guadalupe. Get Seaguar Gold Label at your favorite tackle dealer or learn more at seaguar.com. A top fleet and superb fishing is what Seaforth Sport Fishing in Mission Bay is all about. With free parking and fully stocked tackle shop, it's no wonder Seaforth Sport Fishing is a favorite among anglers. Come aboard top boats like the Aztec, Cortez, Endeavor, Apollo, Outer Limit, El Gato Dos, Pride, Tribute Pacifica, Pacific Voyager, and the Voyager. Plus, the new Seaforth, Sea-Watch, and San Diego offer the finest half and full day trips available. Seaforth Sport Fishing. For charters or regular open parties scheduled, check seaforthlanding.com. Run by fishermen for fishermen in Mission Bay.
Fillet knives shouldn't be disposable. Introducing AFTCO fillet knives that are built to last. Designed in collaboration with Boker, Germany, AFTCO knives feature 4116 German stainless steel, bonded with titanium nitride to ensure optimum corrosion resistance and exceptional edge retention. A non-slip TPR handle maintains a firm grip when processing game fish. Premium in every sense, AFTCO fillet knives are available in multiple length options to provide the right tool that gets the job done season after season. Fillet knives from AFTCO. Any fish, any water.
Inside information is everything when it comes to catching fish in Southern California. You need a code group to connect with what's happening on the water. FishDope.com is your code group. Inside information available at your fingertips 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. FishDope.com really does help you catch more fish and burn less fuel. FishDope.com is the only fish finding service with a spotter plane, along with a crew of top anglers on the water almost every day that report actual locations and catches. They become your code group. You get daily catch reports from Point Conception to San Catine, 365 days a year. FishDope.com has online planning tools, temperature and chlorophyll charts, hot bite icons, and more. Take it from me, if you don't have FishDope.com, you're not part of the in-the-know crowd. Membership is affordable and good for an entire year. Plus, use the special code and save $30 on a new FishDope.com membership. Check it out today. FishDope.com. Catch more fish, burn less fuel.
everyone has their go-to fishing spot. My spot is Kingfisher Charters in Sitka, Alaska. Rock Cod Rick here to say if you're looking for the ultimate Alaska experience and the best value in Alaska, it's Kingfisher Charters. Owner Seth Bone and his crew consistently deliver deluxe accommodations, the finest food, world-class fish processing, and top-of-the-line fishing experience. We've literally sent hundreds of our listeners to Kingfisher, and they all can't wait to go back. Most Alaska resorts make big promises, and they don't deliver, or they'll nickel and dime you to drive up the cost, but not Kingfisher. Everything is included. Your license, fish processing, super deluxe accommodations, amazing food, airport transfers, your gear. Literally all you need to bring is your layer clothing, and Kingfisher covers the rest. They also have the finest boats and charter captains in Sitka, all for the ultimate value. Take it from me. Book your trip to Kingfisher Charters and you'll thank me. Kingfisher Charters, 800-727-6136, or check kingfishercharters.com. Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. Having a great time here this morning. All right, it's time to find out the winner of the Raymarine swag package, including those killer tech shirts, hats, and more, a $200 value, and you're getting 2 tickets to the PCS show. Kaylen's going to do us the honors, flip the prize coin. All right, today we have a texter winning. Congratulations, Matt in Apple Valley. You are getting hooked up with the full Raymarine pack, and you're going to the PCS show. You're going to get a chance to see Mike and Kaylen yourself.
There you go. All right. And Mike, thank you for joining us on the phone, and sure appreciate what you do. And Kaylen, fantastic having you in the studio here.
Yep, anytime. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, and if somebody wants,
thanks for having us, guys.
Yeah, and if somebody wants more information on Raymarine, see you at the PCS show, right?
Absolutely.
All right, and
seeing you guys.
Yeah, and what about a website and such like that?
Where do we keep in touch with all of you?
Yeah, Raymarine.com. If you're ever wanting to go through our catalog, look at our different models and what we're doing, different testimonials from our pro staff, Raymarine.com has got a wealth of knowledge, guys.
All right.
Great
Thanks,
job,
guys.
you guys. This was a lot of fun. I learned a ton. I really appreciate it. I can't wait to see you at PCS.
Yeah, we'll see you at PCS March 6th to the 9th. All right. Raymarine, thanks a lot, guys.
Yep.
And tomorrow on Let's Talk Hookup, we have a great show. Bill and Mike from PCS will be here 7 to 9 a.m. right here on the Let's Talk Hookup YouTube, Facebook Live, the Let's Talk Hookup app, and 97.3 The Fan. We'll see you tomorrow.